Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Premier Valor League Victory Rush. My name is still TJ, still joined by the one, the only D2. And we are live with the third day of broadcasts, the second day of semi-finals. We'll have the second semi-final today and the grand final after this. We're starting things off with BMG versus Avengers in a best of three. The winner goes on to the grand finals where they'll face Assassin Squad. We're already there and waiting.
Have you ever started a broadcast with, I am no longer TJ, I am JT, and this is my new name from now on?
No.
Or at least until next broadcast. You never actually...
I've never done that.
I was wondering why you said my name is still TJ. Anyway, is this a best of three? Wasn't this supposed to be a best of five yesterday, but one team just gave up because they couldn't take it anymore?
It's definitely a best of five.
Thanks, Jerry. Voice of God. This is, look, I got like 3 hours of sleep over the last 2 days. So I'm like not in a great place right now. You know who is in a great place right now, though?
Who?
Chat. Because if they use the command ! Give me skins, my one special bot, Super Freedom Bot, will give away 1,000 vouchers at the end of this game. So all you need to do is write ! Give me skins in chat.
Well, if KZ Fox is going to join, then I'm going to join. Screw it.
What? All right, you're now one of 4 people entered in. You know what? I can actually manually remove you from this list.
No, don't do it! Why would you do such a thing?
In the game, in the meantime, our ban phase was Teamy Darcy, with a Hayate being first picked over on the BMG side. Avengers... ooh, do I have them backwards? I do.
Well, Raw is screwing things up by continuing to have the BMG tag, but he is...
really is.
Yeah.
BMG.
He is now GMB.
On the other side is Baldum and Florentino in the ban, Ryoma Tulin in the pick. No Caffeine.
No Caffeine quite yet. Because BMG did pick Hayate, there is very unlikely they'll pick Caffeine. Even though you do see Hayate in the jungle role on ladder, it's not quite as good in professional matches because you can easily just invade it. This is all just to say that BMG know that they can get this in their next pick, and I will be surprised then if they don't pick it.
Irie hovered. This would be interesting. We haven't seen an Irie in forever. I think Valor Series, this is why we don't talk about hovers. I think Valor Series Season 2 was the last time I saw that character.
It seemed like a very deliberate hover, though. It seemed like that was something they were thinking of doing, but Richter is just kind of, not necessarily a better version of Irie, but he does most of the things she can do better, and this is what I was referring to. They didn't need to pick Caffeine right away. They knew they were going to get her third, and they do.
The Annette will be drafted to play that support, meaning this is a very fast-moving side from Avengers. They're going to be trying to get to the end game as quickly as possible so that their late-game scale can pay off.
Right. And so if you're on the side of Avengers, what you're really drafting here, or what they're looking for, it seems, is heroes who can get in and out of fights very quickly, just kind of poke in kind of like a dash in and hit you and run away type of way, not the traditional poke of like a Kali or Talanas. They're just going to jump in there, get their damage in, maybe kill someone and get out when the fight is already over. And interesting that BMG have decided to ban out Illumia, because in a strange way, Illumia can help that sort of team fight style by always having her Cataclysm at the right moment when the rest of her team is diving in.
The Caffeine will finally be drafted on that third pick. So, my life continues.
Hey, I tried to explain that to you.
Yeah, but like, I didn't trust you until it came out. And then I was like, all right.
Well, I'm excited to see both Hayate and Caffeine in the game, because it's not quite clear yet who wins that matchup. I guess if they're both at the, like, you're talking about the best players in the entire game, I would say that Hayate probably wins. But every time he gets in there to try to get the damage in, Caffeine can return it in spades as well. So gotta be careful.
The Caffeine. Sorry, I just realized the font I use on my lower thirds is all caps. That's not a style choice. That's just the font. And now Twitch chat is shouting, "Give me skins!"
Oh my goodness.
I'm so happy. Sorry. So.
Oh, I see.
Give me skins! I'm very excited because this is going to be full light length from both sides. So, full late game, Quillen's going to come through. I'd be very surprised if we saw a hard tank. This is going to be... Oh, I shouldn't have spoken that soon. This is going to be a spicy game from both sides. There's the Zill-Quillen jungle matchup, hovered. Lots of mobility, lots of backline damage.
This new Crush skin, or new, as of like a month ago, it kind of is disturbing to me because it's a shark making sushi.
Oh, okay.
It's a shark who's a sushi master.
But,
and I guess he does eat fish, I
Daniel,
suppose.
All meat is murder. And
oh my God,
of all,
we're not going there.
Sharks already eat fish. That's like
right.
part of the ecosystem.
Like, fine. I just thought it was cannibalism for a second there, when I was like, well, I guess okay, fine.
Yeah.
I should point out though that if people in chat may think, this is BMG, they're always going to win, they're going to just pick troll picks. The team they're playing against is very good. They were at the Valor Series finals. Most of these players were. So BMG do not. I mean, they obviously think they're going to win, but they're not going to be messing around here because that would just not go well if they mess around too much.
Yeah. So we'll see how this goes out. Tell you what, as we're going into it, Jury, we never properly clarified this. When do you want me to end this giveaway? do you want to pull during the draft as we're loading in? I can just lay it on out there. We're gonna do a giveaway for this for the Give Me Skins thing. We can just end this at the end of this series. But all subs, all people who sub, will also be entered into 1,000 skin gift, or 1,000, not 1,000 skins, 1,000 voucher skin giveaway.
You know what you can do is if you tell them to sub, then they get a 5 times greater chance of getting the win.
I don't.
Nah, man. Let's just give away more skins.
Right. That also works.
All right. So at the end of this series, the exclamation point "Give me skins" poll will be run. I'll fly out the lower third and mention it a few more times. For now, I'll pull it back, use my fancy motion transitions, and we'll talk about these two drafts. So, as I was saying, very lightweight for both teams, but we end this draft with the Crashed being the major difference, I think, because that will give them a lot of engage, behind which Hayate, Annette, and Richter can't really follow. This is going to be a full dive team, if anything, whereas I think Caffeine and the Ryoma are looking to play a little bit more static, a little bit more defensive around a set fight, while the Thane plays frontline.
I'm not really sure I like the Crush, especially because he's going to be playing over in the Darkslayer lane. And that means that you're not going to be able to use your ultimate quite as often as you might want to, especially because BMG is such a great team at rotating around the map that they're going to cause fights and really force things to happen without the full 5 team fight there. Once it gets to the very, very late game, if they can make it there, and that is a strong if because this is BMG, then the metamorphosis comes into play. But until that time, I just don't see this really working out.
Once again, literally everyone playing at this level is competent, so this should be a fun game, because it is BMG, yes, but it's players who have played on and against BMG for ages opposing them. This is mid lane Hayate? Coming out.
Hayate.
I got you.
The YA and the HA and the YA are pronounced exactly the same, just ha ya. Anyway, but I need to correct myself because I said he was going to be DS lane, the Crushed, but because of the fact that Hayate is mid and there's no actual mage here, he's going to be Abyss lane. So that changes what I was saying earlier.
KZ Fox in the mid lane will have his work cut out for him, Hayate. Very annoying to play into. Beginnings is babysitting Neo up top. They've taken the duo lane and put it up on the Abyssal side, which is...
Oh no, that's the Dark Slayer.
You're right, Dark Slayer. They put
And
it
that
up
was
on the
that's
Dark
confusing
Slayer.
to me.
Yeah.
That may be something they're just testing here.
I
Or maybe
knew
they
what I
thought
was
that...
trying to say. It is weird that they're doing that.
Yeah, I think that either this is an experiment to kind of mess with things at the AWC, and they want to try it against a reasonably good team, or it's just they're worried about KO, the matchup of Yoma going against Richter.
It seems like they're leaving Neo mostly alone and only running the Thane up to him sometimes. Now KZ Fox is in trouble. First blood to Avengers. A smooth pickup. Sukram dives in, trying to get more, and he'll be shut down. Even trade both ways. Ra and Triumph arrive at the fight. But it's mostly already over, I would think. KO lances out, though. Good stun found. Could have been more from that. BMG turned their attention towards the Abyssal Dragon. I'm not really clear if they have the time for this, because the full respawns are here. Beginnings will have to lead the way here as the Annette Wind Cuffs open things up. There's the dive in with the Valiant charge. KZ Fox here as well, but Ra on the Dragon can't steal it away. Zane's got the punish. The Dragon pickup will go to BMG.
This is what Beginnings was talking to us about yesterday. It's so nice to have that punish on the Crushed, and if Crushed had that punish there, then maybe he'd be able to steal it away, but doesn't have the same objective control without it.
I was very sure. Oh!
80 has to pop his ult just to get out of there.
Yeah. Nice pickup there for Neo.
I love when the wind cuffs goes onto a moving target and you just get tethered to this, and you're like, where am I going? And the seagull is just walking away. It's like, I don't get stunned. I don't know what you're talking about. Neo's like, don't take me with you. Stop.
It's so long as well. You just like sit there for a hot minute.
This is your new reality.
Another wind cups. This one goes wide. Ricardo Milo will be picked up back. Zane dashes forward and grabs the kill.
Every free kill for Quillen in the early game is so nice because you start snowballing, and he is definitely a late game hero. So once you can get that power spike early, it is absolutely amazing.
Another fuse late in mid. This time Triumph has to back out from it. He'll do so with no HP. BMG begin the snowball. His mid lane tower is under serious threat.
See, in the Caffney versus Hayate matchup, Hayate can throw these shurikens, but then Neo just turns on the pulse cannon and says, you want to just have immediate damage? Here you go. Boom. It just chunked him for a third of his health.
Very little impact from the Hayate. Lots of impact from the Caffney. And that's not really what we were expecting coming into this game or this tournament. Ooh, Mark of the Hunter from Triumph scares beginning slow. But much of the discussion has been around how effective Hayate is and how underwhelming Caffney is. That doesn't seem to be the case here.
Well, Neo doing a very smart thing. Well, first of all, she's popping its ult every single time he can, which is making it so powerful. Oh.
Metamorphosis, Neo's gone. Nice pickup. Ra's looking for more though, and Scream's Sukram rather has been shut down and trade. 80's heroes trying to bail. Beginnings is there to stall up the fight. Very low now. They need 80's hero to do the damage. He has to flicker away, and Zane can't get the chase down. A good pickup happens. Now it's Triumph for the turn. Mark of the Hunter onto Zane. Will find the trade. Nicely done by Avengers. They bring this fight back.
Zane did initially a very good job there of seeking out Hayate. Every time 80's hero backed out of the fight and then went back in when he realized he could maybe re-engage without people noticing. But Zane certainly noticed and he re-found his target. Unfortunately, got a little bit greedy and stuck around too long.
4-4 in the kill feed. Dead even game. Slight gold lead, mostly because that mid tower that was taken. But nothing insurmountable here. Avengers hold on to this series.
The biggest thing we want to be careful looking at is the amount of gold that Zane has on Quillen and the amount of gold that Kafni has, which is being piloted by Neo. So those are the big ones. Those are the massive damage dealers. And in particular, they can completely carry a fight if they get their gold going.
Triumph up top. Will eat a King's Glory. Have to play it safe. Goes back in with the Retaliate. Keeps the tower alive. In the meantime, that Abyssal Dragon did get taken out. So net wins across the board here for Avengers. They bring that gold lead close again.
Another tower going down as well.
Triumph in trouble. Zane goes of the kill. Able to grab him just as he comes out of the bush. Now the follow-up onto beginnings is there. Trade 1-for-1. It's not exactly what you want. Big damage for support, but they'll take it. Any little bit of gold they can give over to their jungler is worth it.
A couple of things I want to point out. First, the Hermes Select on KO, just zooming around the map, making sure you can get those swailing blades like that one. Usually hurt more than that on the Raw. But when the other thing I want to point out is the fact that Neo immediately went into as much crit percentage as possible. He went into Clavis Sancte and now is going into the Bow of Slaughter. So that's as much crit as you can possibly get. I guess the bow's only 20%, but what he's trying to do here is enable that pulse cannon because that really helps with the crit percentage, whereas the Gatling gun doesn't really do as much with the crit. But the reason why you want to beef up the pulse cannon in this particular case is because of the matchup he's in with Hayate. He wants to get that burst damage right away on the Hayate so he doesn't have to get into these little skirmishes at close range.
KO wants to push forward here, will poke down the Might Golem and does take away that buff. Metamorphosis from Ra in the backlines could get dangerous, but only if there's follow-up and there's no ADCs nearby. Now there is a full dive in. Sukrab grabs KO. Fusillade far back from Neo. Can't find the trade, and it's about to get worse. Triumph on the dive in, though. Eats a pulse cannon. They can't find Neo. Zane's here for the damage. 2 kills. Instantly back over, and 80's just fleeing for his life. He can't stay ahead of this forever, and Zane will eventually catch up and confirm the kill. Sukrab the fall as well. A complete team wipe, effectively, as Triumph has to go back to base. And this is devastating. That's at least one more tower, probably 2.
What did I say? You gotta look out for Neo, you gotta look out for Kafni and the Quillen. And these are the 2 heroes you need to be targeting in the team fights. Yeah, they started out the fight reasonably well by getting a couple of kills, but they left the carries alone. And the carries do what carries do. They carry.
Abyssal Dragon falls. Bot lane tower falls. Just like that. BMG now have a solid lead. Blue Martini have turned what should have been a good game to their game.
Right, and again, I keep harping on this, but it is the case on this game that we need to pay attention to Zane, how much gold that Zane and Neo have on their respective heroes here. Both of them have that Clava Sancte to do ridiculous damage. It looks like Zane is building into what looks to be a rank breaker, and that will just automatically delete the squishy heroes if he gets near them.
Ra, Metamorphosis does find 2 stuns. Thunderbird to answer back. It's Ra still on the front lines. Just trying to split the fight. Beginnings will go through as well. That's a full ult. Good from 80's hero. He gets 2 massive kills. Beginning Zane, Neo, all gone. And somehow Avengers dominate the fight. Now they need to drift back, though, as they leave even players on the board. 80's hero and Ricardo are both so low, they just have to go all the way back to base. And they don't nearly get enough for it.
Yeah, the 3v3 there was, you know, just the numbers was even, so that's good there for Avengers. But on top of that, they do get Zane and Neo in that fight, which is very important. If they didn't, then this Darkstar would be getting taken already by them. So important that they got the right targets there. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't finish it off. One thing, it's just very unfortunate. Raw had an amazing metamorphosis. If literally one other hero is able to join him, then that's a dominant team fight. Yeah, it's a dominant team fight for Avengers. He chunked 3 members all by himself and was stunning more.
Uh-oh. Fuse light in. Oh, that's nice. Neo lands a sickle. So many players caught in the midst of it. I think that may be the game right then and there. Very well done by the Kafni. Beautiful ult lands. Sugram now just trying to wind shift away to safety. It's him and 80's hero for the hold, and it's not getting much. Oh, that was sick. They block out the tornado. He can't land the target, goes over the wall, and is shut down by Neo.
You kind of acted like a Yeah, acted like a tank there. He just jumped in and was the main focus of the opposing team and says like, nope, sorry, I got my Arctic Orb here. I'm pretty good. Not sure if Hades Hero can hold this.
Not respawns. Both tanks, supports back up.
Well, the game's not over. The game's not over, but they got 2 high grounds, and that's pretty bad.
As you say, that is, quote, pretty bad, unquote. Darkslayer the focus, that would be really bad. There's the dive in. Zane will pick it up. Trav needs a lot of damage as well. KZ Fox is here for the finish. You can see Zane did go down and the fight split. Ra taking the front lines while the back lines are just a dive from KZ Fox. Finally, the focus will shift to Ra. Trav's already gone. KZ Fox is just diving the back lines. It's all on Sugram. And this is a tall task. He'll recall.
He'll recall, but he doesn't have time to recall. The game's gonna end.
I believe. I no longer believe. Game number 1 will go to BMG.
Yeah, that game was coordination on the side of BMG and lack of coordination on the side of Avengers. Avengers, so many times Raw went in. And you know it's a problem when you see a Crush go in with Metamorphosis and the entire opposing team is able to just focus him. That shouldn't be a normal thing. You don't usually see Crush get burned down. And it's not like it's not for lack of defense on his side. It's not like, obviously he has a massive shield. The problem was they were able to focus him without any repercussions, right? Normally, if you're focusing Crush when he pops a Metamorphosis, your entire team will be dying because you're focusing the big tank and they're all just killing all your guys. But there was so little follow-up that they were able to just sit there and attack the big sushi maker guy.
Yeah, I don't want to call out Hades Hero because I know he's a very good player, but he was supposed to be the majority of the damage in those team fights. And so many times Ra was landing sick 3-man stuns, and it would seem perfect for a Hayate ult or a Hayate ult to close things out, and it just didn't happen.
It's tough. Hayate is the reason why there's a little bit of divide on how good he is. I guess there isn't really a divide, but he's good in solo queue because he can make a whole lot of individual plays, which means he's constantly trying to take 1v1s or perhaps 1v2s if he can burn one person down. But in professional matches, I think that his skill floor, rises even higher because the other team is going to be locked on to what he's doing the entire time. If the Metamorphosis comes in and he just jumps in with the Kunai Barrage, then he's immediately just going to get burned down. If he's anywhere in the vicinity and there's 2 people there. So something he has to be careful of. He did get a lot of damage, but, it's tough.
We'll see. We'll go to a quick break. We'll be back with game number 2. If things can change, Avengers may be able to turn around this 5-game series. They still have plenty of chances to do it. The semifinals are not over yet, nor will they be soon. Don't go far. We'll be right back after this.
team's turn to ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the PVL Victory Rush. We're back into it. One of these times I'm going to hit the wrong transition button, and you're going to know, because if I apply my fancy motion transition to two different scenes that have completely different elements, everything, it gets wild. The whole thing like fades out and then shrinks and then flies in from the side. It's amazing, and I'm going to do it at least once. So I'm just setting you up for that now, so that when it does happen, you know why things have happened.
Well, I won't get to see that, so that's your problem, not mine. By your, I mean the audience.
Yeah. That's D2, whose problem it isn't. My name's still TJ. It is...
Always TJ.
In fact, my name is always TJ. Except for when it's Thomas. The draft
Or
phase
James.
has begun for
Or
game
Balder Schweiler.
number 2 of this 5-game semi-final. I have a bracket screen I can pull up, given that we're still on the bans. I'll do it during...
You should change your name to...
We'll do it.
You should change your name to TJB. Or not change your name, but call yourself TJB.
Why?
That's kind of cool. Because it's
So,
cooler.
The reason I'm
The
not
TJB.
TB is because that's tuberculosis. And those are my initials. The ban phase this time includes Teamy, Richter, Hayate, got it,
Hayate.
second time's the charm, and Balder, which means Florentina will be an obvious first pick, Kathleen Tulin in answer.
Is it an obvious... Cafani versus Florentino. Thoughts? Florentino's been hit with a big nerf hammer, but he's still pretty good, as we saw yesterday. Cafani is always going to be very strong, as we saw last game. I'm curious to see how Avengers is going to build her in this particular game, because obviously it depends on what the opponent is running, but sometimes you want to go straight for what's good with your pulse cannon, and sometimes you want to go with what's better with the Gatling gun, or whatever it's called. Do you know what it's called? The
Pew,
arm...
pew,
this,
pew, pew.
the pew 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 pew. That's the one.
The
Thanks for
Kathleen
pointing
button.
that. Well, with Linda's coming out, that probably points toward the pulse cannon, because you don't want to be getting into a fight
Linda's
at
is
relatively
just
close
Kathleen, but
range.
with real man's damage.
I don't know. Cavity does quite a bit of damage.
Only over time. You can get a little bit bored on Kathani's way to killing you. That's what I'm saying. And you will die, but you'll be really tired of the whole thing by the time you do. Which makes me less toxic, because I'm like, oh, I'm dead, thank God.
Okay. I have no idea where you're trying to go with there, but okay. Anyway. It's funny how Avengers have really target banned this entire time, or target picked in this regard, because they've taken away the Tulin after we saw what KZ Fox was capable of doing on him. And then they have banned Baldwin both games after Beginnings was on the cast yesterday talking about how good Baldwin is. Unfortunately, Beginnings can probably play every single support, so I'm not sure how good of a strategy that is. Unless they're really worried about Cafney dying to it or something.
Yeah. This second ban phase, interesting that Sephora falls out of it now. I don't think I've ever seen Sephora make it that far into a draft and still be banned.
Yeah, either you ban, either you're in a situation where like you're fine with Sephora.
Is good, or you don't, and there isn't really an in between. Normally pick banned in the first phase. Occasionally teams just don't believe.
Yeah, there's also like the debate between like Tulin and Sephora, who wins that particular matchup. I'm on the Sephora side, Beginnings as well, but there are some very stubborn Tulin players who've been playing Tulin since the dawn of the Tulin era when he came out, and they're like, Tulin can beat anyone, just watch.
Has Tulin ever been out of meta?
Yeah. Actually, well, he was, in my opinion. There's always people who are Tulin mains always think
Western competitive. He has always been played in Western competitive.
Right, but in my mistake, it's been a mistake, or in my opinion, it's been a mistake.
Yeah, there was a while where like L'Oreal and Raz were both better than him, I think.
Red team's turn to
Or
bat.
you mean Liliana and Raz?
Yeah.
L'Oreal, when L'Oreal was good, Tulin was good. There was
Yes,
never like
that was the
L'Oreal's
very
good and
beginning,
Tulin's bad.
Then it was Liliana and Raz who were good, and you'd see them drafted against each other, but people would still play Tulin and would generally
And
lose.
lose. Yeah, and
And
they would think like, oh, I can take this fight. Like, no, you cannot. And then Tulin got a stealth buff. They just kind of snuck it in there without telling anyone, where they basically almost doubled the size of his dash. His what's it called? Electric shock or something?
Lightning strike.
Lightning strike. It's similar words. But basically, it
Electric
went
shock
from
is what you get when lightning strikes.
Exactly. So if the indicator, it used to go like halfway up the indicator, basically at the start of the arrow thingy at the end, and now it goes all the way past to the end of the tip of the arrow. So it's much, much longer, and even a small change like that. Remember when Jinnar got good because he was able to use moving 2 and everything just came together? That's basically what happened with Tulin. Like everything just
I
made
remember you that
things
week.
better. Yeah.
They made it so that Jinnar's second ability, his AoE stomp damage, could be cast while on the move. I call up Daniel on Discord to do our podcast. He shouts, "Moving 2!" I go, what? He goes, "Jinnar, he's got a moving 2!" I had no clue what that meant. Still his slogan.
But
let's catch up with this
it's a
draft.
similar.
Nah,
It's
we're
a similar
catching up
thing with
this
Tulin.
draft.
Anyway,
Alice,
no, damn it.
Illumia, Lindis, Rioma, Florentino. On the Blue Martini side, that means beginnings will be shifting yet again to an Alice this time. Illumia coming into popularity solidly in mid these days, with a Lindis to counter the sustained damage of the Caffeine over on the other side. The mid duel will be a Tulin with the support Lumber,
Red team's
Max
turn
playing
to
from the
pick.
top, and that in itself is fascinating.
Max. Okay,
Hold up.
here's the
no
reason
Darcy.
why. No Darcy.
Could still be picked for jungle.
Could
there,
still be Darcy, yeah.
Samira.
The issue with Darcy is he can take a while to get going, and if you have too many heroes like that on your team, it's problematic. I wouldn't argue that's the case for Avengers necessarily, but if any team can deal with Darcy, it will be BMG. I do want to talk about the Max for a second though. So there are obviously a bunch of targets here for Max, but the biggest argument for Max here is that the other side is Florentino. And basically, Max will lose against most DS laners, which is why it's hard to find a place for him sometimes. But if anyone you pick is going to lose to Florentino anyway, you might as well pick someone who has lots of impact outside of the game or outside of the dual matchup in the DS lane.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about Illumia?
Illumia, I'm
That's
still
like
trying to get a
meta.
grasp. No, right, Illumia. I'm still trying to get a grasp on when teams are trying to pick her. Sometimes it just seems they just like Illumia, and we're gonna pick Illumia just because she's presumed to be good. I don't see any particular reason in this game to pick Illumia. Usually, she combines well with some sort of stun from the rest of your players. Perhaps they're thinking that if Beginnings picks up Frosty's Revenge on Alice, and once she pops her ult, that's an immediate stun on basically. That could be a thing that they're thinking about. But other than that, you need sort of a setup, or else her efficacy is a lot lower. In this particular case, though, the opposing team, they're not a whole lot of targets. Almost everyone can dash. So that is not necessarily a good matchup against the opponents, but they have some synergy here with the Alice, and perhaps the Waning Blade from Neo as well.
Get ready.
You did get a look there at the bracket. Currently, of course, we are in the second semi-final. The winner will go on to play Assassin Squad in the grand final. This is the PVL Victory Rush for $300 on the line. This is our best of 5. We're 1 game in. Blue Martini, of course, took game 1. They're currently 1-0 up.
So, Tulin usually dominates every early game situation, but Illumia has a reasonable matchup against him because she can just stun him from afar, and his heroes has to be constantly aware of that. And he is actually taking more damage than KZ Fox, because KZ Fox is doing an amazing job because he is KZ Fox.
Him and Tulin. Normally, you see KZ Fox on the Tulin. Let's talk about this Max coming through. Triumph playing very aggressive with it already. He's kind of a hard character to pin down in the early game, so he just wants to take duels, and he's in a 1v3. KO coming through as well. KZ Fox's first blood didn't work out.
That was either going to be a disaster or an amazing play, and I wasn't sure which, because I played literally hundreds and hundreds of games of Max. I've never done that before because he has no escape. He has no dash away. And I was thinking maybe he knows something that I don't about what you can do with Max, and apparently not. Apparently I was just right. That's a bad idea.
Yeah. Didn't work this time. I won't
Not
go
so
so
much.
far as to say it was a bad idea, because I think it might have worked if it wasn't a 1v4.
Well, if the team wasn't in position to join him.
Yeah.
So it's not like he could be like, well, what team, where were you? They weren't. They just literally could not get there.
Hold up. Can still be like, team, where were you? Beginnings will be shouting that as Sukram grabs a kill. That'll open things up in mid. And strike back for Avengers. They're going to try and turn that into an early Abyssal. And curiously enough, Blue Martini don't seem to know about this. Now Neo's in the area. That should be the call, but it's too little too late, and the first Abyssal will go to Avengers.
I like Triumph's positioning there, though. If you look, he was over protecting the Might Golem on his side. Usually, if you don't see any contest, that's what's happening.
Oh, Cataclysm! Oh. It's huge, but Beginning still fools. Ricardo will be the trade. At least 1 for 1, but that's not bad at all. Sick little Cataclysm.
Amidst all of that, there was a liftoff from Triumphs who was targeting Zane, but Zane smartly went behind the tower until it went away. So that is the liftoff used. That is about a minute cooldown, so that won't be available for a while.
You're just very happy to have a good Max, aren't you?
The jury's still out on good or not.
Now he's admitting the tournament. The pressure.
Yes, I am.
His turn. See. The pressure up top should be the Florentino. I think that's honestly, and you mentioned this, why they're running the Max, just because Florentino's going to win line.
Yeah, he's going to win it anyway, so he might as well get someone who can do stuff outside of that duel.
Speaking of, there's the Florentino diving tower. My god, it's terrifying. Triumph is just dead. Sukram's here to try and make the best of a bad situation. They've actually got a good temporal turbulence through. This could be much more disastrous, potentially, for Blue Martini. Zane's just fleeing for his life, half HP. KZ Fox and Beginnings, both already
KO,
gone. KO wants the trade, though, and he's got 80-0 pinned down. Lightning strike away. Will not get him to safety. I'm not sure about this. Liftoff in. KO the target. The committal lands. That's underneath the tower, though, and KO just happily goes for the turn. Cataclysm makes it worse. KO is under static, but he can't be taken out.
So KO did an extremely good job there. He was hiding in the bush, waiting for the return from 80's hero to the mid lane to be able to take that duel, and take it he did. On the other side of the map, or the other side of the equation, Avengers did an extremely good job making sure that they punished the dive. They saw the dive coming from BMG very, very early, and that you could say is a mistake from BMG because they kind of showed their hand too quickly, and that allowed for the rebuttal.
The Abyssal Dragon is another rebuttal. It goes over to Blue Martini, though, and that puts them ahead. They got that because Neo was able to absolutely destroy Ra in lane. Landed a full Spectral Ire into a Fusillon, and now Neo just needs to back off.
Yeah, Spectral Ire will heal right through that Fusillon because that takes a while to get the damage going, and meanwhile the Spectral Ire will just chunk you down immediately, especially because we mentioned this earlier, Yoma, very, very strong early game, so he has damage throughout the game.
Triumph is up top. Mid lane. Sukra will temporal turbulence. Now drift back. Up top, the tower does fall. KO continuing to be an unstoppable monster. God, Florentino.
Yeah, on the one hand, KO's doing a very good job on the Florentina, but on the other hand, you just saw how pathetic Max can be when he's trying to run away. He literally, all he can do is walk and maybe just do some smooth moves to juke them out, but he can't actually just dash away. And that's very problematic when the team is coming for you.
It's really scary how much damage he can do. Now the bot lane will be a focus. Neo and the rest of BMG do want the tower. Not sure what can be done to stop them. There's the Fusillade. I'm not sure it's got enough damage. Earth Splitter did land. Beginnings just tanks the focus. This lets Zane take out the tower. Now the rest of the players should be open for grabs, but Blue Martini don't want to full dive that. Avengers, a moment to regroup. They've lost their captaining. Rod just had to drift back, given their low HP. They'll recall now. In the meantime, up top, KO does take out Triumph in a 1v1. That should mean they're falling back. Zane goes forward, grabs a lumber as well for free. Mid lane, Neo could go down and does to 80's hero with the thunderclaps going forward. An Ion Blast, he takes 2. Now the focus can shift. Zane's up for grabs potentially. Sukram's there. There's another dimension. The portal already dropped, and narrowly they get the kill.
Seems like for the first time, Avengers is finally punishing BMG for some of their transgressions / over-aggressions, perhaps. Throughout this game, it just seems like BMG have been out-rotating them, and that's even when they've given up kills or bad positionings or what have you, they've maintained that gold lead. And for the first time, Avengers are kind of taken an even situation out of that. KO 1v2.
Very refreshing to see.
Look at KO. That was a legit 1v2. All of their abilities available. KO versus Triumphs and Ricardo Milo. Look who has not much health left and who is still going strong.
I do really feel the secret to them winning that last fight, though, was Triumph just making the sacrifice play and occupying KO up top.
Yeah, just make sure he's there.
What do you do about a Florentino? The answer that has been
biggest
from the dawn of time.
Well, normally you just run away and don't let him get farmed. The problem is BMG kind of force the action. They're like, we really want KO to get farmed, so therefore we're going to make sure that we push and pressure this top lane, and that allowed KO to get kills, and that means that Trams can't even be in the same vicinity anymore.
Rather spontaneously, Neo grabs a kill down bottom, and they fall. Oh my god,
DS lane.
KO. I thought he had that. He started doing
1v4.
damage and things got scary. He'll get 2 with the Cataclysm. Dark Slayer now threatens, will be picked up successfully by Avengers, and Zane's just pushing forward. 80-0's gone.
What is happening?
Devastating. Ricardo, you're gone as well. I'm not sure about this trap behind the tower. He can't get out. Nobody survives with the buff. Sorry, Rod did survive, but only by virtue of respawning. That is disgusting.
Did you see Neo? He flickered Wailing Bladed into 3 people.
Yes,
Literally 1v3, and he's like, I'm going to flicker into this. Watch.
He's done that to Rod. He's been very upset by it.
And it's just worked out for them. Zane comes in, he's the cavalry, takes everyone out. That was a 3-4 on a flicker Wailing Blade into 3 people. 1v3.
Sigma, do you get your buff? Nope. Nope. Cataclysm, he's gone. There's the dive from liftoff. Tribe wants the full team fight. I'm not sure that was the right call, as Neo's there for the execute alongside Zane, and KO will now arrive. A full combo, and this could be a complete team wipe. Zane at least goes down. 80-0 able to grab that kill now, just trying to back up from beginnings. The second Thunderstrike does land, but it's not enough to confirm the kill. Now, BMG do have a complete team wipe. They'll get the bot tower just off of minion waves, given enough time. The top tower is guaranteed.
Marcus is the only one coming back, and he doesn't have what could be.
Back. Can he clear?
Miss Blossom. KO missed the Blossom. That really ends their opportunity to kill Marcus and end the game there. I do want to kind of poke fun at Zane, because you normally can't because it's Zane, and he's normally infallible. But he was so bloodthirsty for that Tulin kill that he walked. He had the Thunderbird on top of him, and he just didn't even let his support Beginnings take it for him. He just like kept walking forward, and Beginnings like, no, let me walk it, let me take it for you. Like, no, I'm gonna get this kill, and yeah, he died for it. So bloodthirsty.
There's a dragon. Will be scooped up. Zane, bloodthirsty for that as well, will now look for the fight. You never can blame Zane for that, because he's like level 15, but he's playing against players who are good enough that they'll still do damage.
Yeah, he had like 10% life left, and a Thunderbird was aimed at his face, and he's like, I can take it. It's like, no, you can't.
He's a real man.
Or a real woman, one of the two.
Depending on Whether you're
And the
identifying based on character or... Yeah. Oh my god, that was good. But the complete Cataclysm shutdown, perfectly timed. Trav tries to go in, 1v3, and it just doesn't work as Neo blows up Marcus in the meantime. The final tower should be a pretty easy take. They'll collect the wave to make sure it's done right. Beginnings will bring it up. In the meantime, the rest of the team just bullies Avengers back within their base. This should be game 2. Ra can do nothing. 80s Hero is a free shot from Zane. The wave's here as well. And it's 2-0 in the best of 5 over 2 BMG.
Can I kill Milo? Is the question.
Inside the fountain? I don't think so. There you go.
They almost did. The minions into the game, though. Okay, this is completely irrelevant, but I just, when Neo jumped in as Florentino at the very end there, right before they were killing everyone, so he jumps in, hits a lunge, and then he hits one of the flowers and immediately lunged back. It was just instantaneous, boom, boom. That was just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It's just when you can go the fastest possible combo that you can go, it just feels good.
KO responsible for 6 kills that game. Absolutely dominating the early phase. Zane came online towards the end to clean it up with 32% of his team's damage. Shout out to 80s Hero, who had a solid performance over on that tournament.
Well, the issue is that 80s Hero has shown himself capable of switching it around and switching roles, but we saw Raw not do quite as well when switching over to the Cacophony. Obviously, part of that is having to deal with BMG, but yeah, the switching didn't necessarily go their way.
Well, we'll go to a quick break. We'll be right back in a moment with the remainder of this best of 5 semi-final. Don't go far. When we return, it's game number 3. Potentially the final showing for Avengers in the PVL Victory Rush.
Team's turn to ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the PVL Victory Rush. we are now into game number 3. I'm good. Broadcast game number 3. My name is always TJ. As usual, joined by D2. We have a exciting game 3 because it's both been dominant for Blue Martini and good for Avengers, though they did still lose that game 1. So I've got a line graph. You're a physicist. You're familiar with how line graphs work, right, Daniel?
Not actually a physicist. I majored in physics in college, but
yeah, but I count you. You're like way smarter than me. So what I've done is I've plotted the game times of the first 2 games on this line graph, and I've extrapolated the game 3 will be done in under 6 minutes.
that's only if a surrender comes, and I don't think that Avengers is going to surrender.
Can you surrender pre 6 minutes?
No, you can't. But
glad we checked. I think Avengers will be able to turn this around. As much as I'm being BM, I think they're entirely capable of taking BM to game, making it a BMG. I worked for that. I'd like you to know I got like 3 hours of sleep last night, and so like doing that took work.
You know, I'm in the opposite boat. Remember when Jump gave us that story about how he slept 13 hours and was groggy and was messing things up? That's me right now. I got like a lot of sleep because I had no sleep yesterday, and yeah, it's a strange feeling.
Yeah, I don't function well on low sleep, so I'm not with you.
Right.
If I get less than like 5 hours of sleep, it's just not happening.
This is strange. So BMG themselves now have banned up Baldom after it was banned from them. And then they banned Dioma. Didn't they have Dioma both games?
Yeah.
So I understand when teams ban out certain heroes because they see how effective it is on their side. But
they must be running something they don't want to see Ryoma into. Right off the bat, I'm seeing Telenos and Richter as both pretty vulnerable to a good Ryoma. So maybe that's what's up.
You know what? You know what I think it is? This might be a little bit BM towards Avengers, but I think that BMG are simulating if they were playing the AWC and it was banned out from them. Like as if like what happens if we're in the AWC and we know that this has been our most effective hero?
This is just practice?
I think it very much may be.
All right. A strong prediction. Of course, BMG are the AWC representatives for the entire Valor series. They'll be playing to represent you, your family, and your cousins in Europe.
And South America.
And South America. We all have that one cousin in Hungary.
That's in Europe. There are like
Europe.
random Japanese communities in Brazil and like Peru. It's very strange.
Yeah. I think there are random expat communities like everywhere. That's how expats work.
Well,
you're not right
there. There are random expat communities from one country to a random country, but I don't know if like in every country there are random expats from every country.
That's normally how anyway. Hey, I'd say Tulin Omen will be drafted for Avengers. Opposing them, it's Telenos, Richter, Lumber out of the first phase.
Didn't we see a lot of Omen from Triumphs in the Valor Series regular season? Or am I getting it mixed up with the other Vietnamese player on their team?
Triumph did... I don't actually know if this is Triumph. It may be... probably is.
Anyway.
Triumph was playing support, so he wasn't the Omen boy.
All right. It was... I'm forgetting the guy's name.
Yes.
Yes.
I have my phone here. Thanks to the power of Microsoft OneNote, I can check my notes right now. If you'd like to download Microsoft OneNote for yourself, you can do so at onenote.com. Just use the coupon code TJ.
Nice. Is that a real thing?
No.
Okay.
TH. Got it.
TH, there you go. He's the crazy side laner. I was thinking I knew it was 2 letters, and I knew it had a T in it. I was like, NT? Like, no, that's the player in AHQ.
Jay.
TJ. No, but it was NT. The fact that there's another player with 2 letters and has a T in it, and his name is NT, is like, I couldn't get that out of my head. Anyway.
The draft. So, Omen, very aggressive top lane, presumably into Richter. I actually think that matchup goes both ways depending on the game state.
That is the classic cutter talk. This could go either way. We'll have to see.
Well, there aren't very many matchups I call that for. But I do think Omen Richter is like 50-50 depending on the phase of the game you're in and who's dominantly winning.
Well, one thing that the Richter pick did, though, was force the Omen pick, because they had to pick Omen before this next ban phase, or else they were going to be in a deficit. So they needed to pick Omen there in third, because he's one of the few heroes who actually deal with Richter.
Hit me with this. Also, Caffney's still on the board. Liliana would be wild. It's been like years since I've seen Liliana.
Or like 1 month.
The reason why I have only been alive for 18 years, 19 years. Whoa, I just did a Zane. Raz will be locked in. That'll be the mid lane. Also been a while since I've seen a Raz, but it's been played.
Both Raz and Liliana are still the 2 arguably best all-around heroes, because they can do multiple things. They can poke, and they can dive, and they can be frisky and very mobile, right? The problem is these days you really want to have very specific situational mages that can do one thing very well for your team in your comp. And that's not necessarily what they are. Now, sometimes you want to have an all-around mage, but these days you go for like a Kali, you go for an Illumia, you go for an Alistair, and if you really wanted to get in your face and have that early game viability, then you want to go Tulin. So it's very much specialized, and sometimes even if you don't even want a mage, you just go for like a marksman mid or like a Dioma mid or something weird like that.
Marcus gets his trademark Nacroth.
Sukram.
Just throwing that out there. Yabaneth will go to Triumph, presumably. Or Ricardo. They've both been swapping around on the support. I like Yabaneth as a good support, especially against Dive, which they are playing into. But the Talanas will eat him alive. This means it's on Hayate, Tulin, Nacroth to kind of get to the Talanas.
I would call Kriknak a very soft counter to Nacroth. Because Nacroth, even though he can burst someone down, it takes him a couple of hits, and he kind of just nimbles around. If they get into a 1v1 situation where either one is chasing down the other one with drone drop or the myriad of dashes that Nacroth has, as long as Kriknak can land his drone drop, Nacroth is just dead. And even with all of his dashes, he might not be able to get away.
I'm a really big fan of Nacroth, though, just because of how zoomy he is. I just really enjoy seeing, especially on the minimap, because as a caster, I'm looking at what's on screen, but I'm also trying to track everything else that's going on. So I look at the minimap every few seconds, and I'll look at the minimap, and Nacroth will be in bot lane. I'll look back at the team fight, then I'll look at the minimap, and Nacroth is up in top lane. And I'm just like, how do you do that? All right, Nacroth.
He is very fast moving around the map.
The zoomiest of boys. I'll take this moment.
He is getting a nerf, though.
Oh, no, don't tell me that. I'll take this moment while we're at this screen to plug our voucher giveaway, because this could be potentially the final game of the series. At the end of this series, we will be pulling a winner who will get 1,000 vouchers. If you would like to have those 1,000 vouchers, you can write in the chat, !give me skins. We have more giveaways to come later during the stream.
Except only I can't get the skins. Feels bad.
You're now one of like 60 people who signed up, so I've just left you in there. It could happen. Your odds are low.
Raw is sad. He took a lot of damage.
I know. He thought he was going to have a mic golem, and the entirety of Blue Martini was just like, nah.
Well, they get the trade, at least. So, things are perfectly fine.
And just like that, Ricardo will be there to make sure the whole team gets what they want. Beginnings being a little bit of a bully though. Rampaging through the team, buying time for maybe KO to bother them. Using Tram for that top lane.
So this matchup in the bottom is very interesting. This is a matchup that I would say favors Telenos all the way up through like High Masters. The issue here for Neo is that we are kind of above High Masters at this point when we're talking about Hayate versus Telenos matchup. That said, though, Neo could outskill it. Kind of hard to outskill it on the Telenos because there's limitations to what she can do. But we'll see how that plays out.
Mid lane has been dicey so far. Beginnings doing lumber things, popping out of the bush, rampaging through people. He'll do it again. Zane caught up in the Judgment's Blade. Will have to sit there for a moment as the knock-up keeps him poked, but vast majority of the team will rotate up to the Spirit Sentinel, while the vast majority of Blue Martini drift down towards the Dragon.
The question is, can they take this fast enough? You can see the entirety of Avengers. I mean, can they make it here?
The Avengers are assembling. BMG will get the Dragon, and they should be able to disengage as well. Marcus pokes towards him, but doesn't go for the full engage, deciding to play it safe.
You see Casey Fox stuck in that little hole there, is trying to use an auto attack to dash over. But didn't need it in the end, and here comes the invade.
Ricardo in trouble.
Oh.
They chop down a tree. Four-man team right there in the front line. Now Zane will look at least for a mic buff. Goes in on Marcus as well. That's a sick duo. Slow him down with the Krignac. Follow up with the sustained damage of the Telenos. There's not a whole lot you can do.
Well, it was a beautiful ultimate there from Neo, going right through not only the Golem, but through Sukrim as well, able to take him out. It's a pretty long stun. The problem is it can be hard to land, but when you do, you are donezo. The opponent is donezo. Something like that.
AD's hero and Ricardo are about to encounter some resistance in the jungle. They poke through up top, hovering for that red buff. It's the danger zone. It's actually the Beginnings' root zone. Spams recall a few times.
So in that rotation, BMG will have gotten 3 golems out of 4. So that certainly helps our gold lead. But despite a missile, 2 kills, and 3 of the 4 golems there, they still only have a 700 gold lead, which is unusual. Typically, between these teams, we see like an even gold, or excuse me, even kill count, and then Avengers is somehow behind 2,000 gold. But they've been doing a good job rotating this game.
Yeah, and they've been shutting down lanes a little bit harder, which is nice to see. Poor Raw. Uh-oh. He'll try and get out. Rampage for the stun. He's obliterated. Beginnings gets the kill. Full rotate will come through now. Actually, KZ Fox a little bit out of position. Marcus tries to capitalize on that. There's the tower itself knocked a little bit. Beginnings will be focused. Thunderbird will connect. AD0 gets 1. Zane still in the front line. Will be chained down. Nature's Realm. AD0 for 2.
That was the perfect situation there for AD0 as he came in, because once you pop that Thunderbird, you get your passive up, and then if it lands, you get another one after the kill. So he has double Thunderbird and double passive, and meanwhile there was a juicy bug standing right nearby to take all that damage.
Abyssal Dragon, a focus here. Ra wants to take it. He's got Ricardo nearby, and that should mean they have it. Beginnings was in the area, but can't do anything about it. So now we've just got a solid gold lead for the first time, I think, this series in favor of Avengers.
I'm not sure. Okay, this might be trouble for Neo, but I'm not sure Rod needed to use his ult there. It could be useful in this situation, but now he doesn't have him.
Just in a bush. Has to ult to get away. In the meantime, down in this team fight down bottom, it will be a pickup. Marcus caught out. Ricardo wants to bail out. He'll be able to do so, but only barely. So I guess the answer is KO was baiting, allowing the rest of his team to do more exciting things.
Right. It made it seem like there wasn't going to be a rotation. Neo was in trouble. They could see that from a while away. And so they saw the 3-man rotation coming in, and they responded with 4. And then in the meantime, KO was distracting 2 by himself, because that's what Richter can do.
Top lane. Triumph caught out. KO through as well. Will spend the mark of the Hunter. And I got the slow. Zane will get the kill. Rotate is here. But Carter's a little bit too slow. Zane played with fire, but stays just out of reach of the clap. And so he won't get the slap. Oh, Marcus. Judgment's played. Zane to half HP. He'll play it safe back up. But he got a little bit of slap.
That's the issue with Necroth, though, is he's extremely fast, but in exchange, he doesn't necessarily burst people down from 100 to 0. He can burn you to half, but if that were the opposite situation, then Zane might have very well killed Necroth with a full combo.
Uh-oh. Ra will get out. That minion actually presents a little bit of an HP threat to him, but he's fine.
Once Zane, he's building towards the rank breaker now. Once Zane gets rank breaker, then this should be one-shot combos onto the opposing side, especially Raw and especially Sucram. So that's something to be...
At that point?
It's not necessarily over, but you have to be just extra vigilant about dealing with Zane.
Not rank breaker? Oh no, I was looking at Talon.
It is.
I was so confused. Why is he built Club Sanct? What? Oh good. Bot lane, the Abyssal Dragon has been taken. That was stolen away by Avengers. Very nicely done. Now they want the team fight, or at least want to hover for it, posture for it. They're about 900 gold behind, which isn't very much in the scheme of things, but they still don't want to take a fight against BMG.
Right, this is the first time, you mentioned this before, but this is the first time that Avengers is close in gold, so we'll see how BMG responds to having it be a little bit harder in this mid-game.
Zane, KO, both go in. Zane will do the damage on Ricardo, forced to blow his heal just to stay alive, but he does. In the meantime, up top, the fight's going their way. Beginnings caught out. Already Neo shut down. Zane for 2. The dive in with drone drop. He's got 1. Triumph with the death's beckon. And the flicker forward. Should have the kill. Zane horde rushes through him, though, and stays barely ahead. Don't turn back. Don't do this to me. He'll play it safe.
He wants the gold on the siege minion. It's like it's over 100 gold. you want to get that. It's like a monster. Monster's worth of gold in a siege minion. Very nice.
So, good turn from Zane. Still a kill lead against them, but not taken. Every little bit of gold they get on the Zane matters.
For a moment there, actually, you saw that Avengers had taken back the gold lead, which is very impressive. They're doing to BMG what BMG normally does.
Oh, Flicker Earth Splitter. Beginnings don't do this. Nature's Realm as well. Ladies Hero is gone. Zane gets credit for the pickup. This could get worse now.
Oh my goodness. I just love that because when we were in Australia, I saw him practicing exactly that.
Yeah.
Flicker ult, so devastating.
He came up to me, he said, you know, you can Flicker Earth Splitter now? I was like, really? I was like, yeah.
No. He was describing to us a bug. He's always been able to Flicker Earth Splitter, but you can Flicker Earth Splitter and it will both, if you flicker sideways, the ult itself will knock people up, but also where his arms are will knock people up too. So it knocks people up in 2 different sections, which is kind of crazy.
Tower will be taken down. Beginnings utilize that combo well. Oh my god, 80s Hero down as well. Zane gets the deletion. What? He just vanished!
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens when you not only pick up Rank Breaker, but also Omni Arms. Omni Arms providing even more damage at the end of attacks. So the thing is, when you look at Crickneck, he gets extra damage. Every time he uses an ability and then attacks, he gets extra damage from his passive, which is Bite. But whenever he uses Terrifying Plague, it also does extra magic damage as well on top of that. And then when you get Omni Arms, you have 3 instances of extra damage on top of the just insane damage that you have. So you're hitting people 4 times in one shot whenever you use Terrify Plague and auto afterward.
Dark Slayer, now the focus for Blue Martini. They want to just speed run it. Ricardo's in the area, but you should check out of the area because there are a lot of people in it. They've now got the Dark Slayer buff.
You see Tome of the Reaper here picked up from KZ Fox. Obviously, that's part of that is going into the Abena so they can burn him down whenever he uses Nature's Realm. But also, there's quite a bit of healing on Marcus.
Death's Embrace, Neo the focus, full dive will come through. There are 4 players in the area. They will get the kill. Death's back and forth beginning back in as well, but I don't think they should chase that behemoth. And they'll decide not to.
Let's see how much they can get done with this Dark Slayer here. Zane's typically calls it right now. Can you just kill Milo? Yeah. The answer is yes. Milo doesn't. He only has the Knight's Blade. Doesn't have much to his name. Trev actually has more defense than Milo, so he's lasts a little bit longer, but not long enough.
I thought Triumph might be able to get away with that recall. He thought so as well.
I thought so as well. How did they find him? How did they find him in there?
Because there was power surge into the bush. I think they already knew he was there.
Right. I mean, they knew. I know they knew they went there, but the exact spot. Oh, the flicker rolled again. Oh goodness.
Poor Ra. Does survive.
Well, you say poor Ra, but Sukram died for his sins, so.
That's
yeah.
what happens. This dragon will get taken out. This looks to be another BMG game. They're looking to punch their ticket to the finals, earn a quick $300. In order to do that, they need at least one more good team fight, though.
They're just being bullies. They're taking all the farm away from their opponents. They're making themselves get more ahead in this game, and because there can't be any contest, they just walk them and take them to the tower.
They just want that Bouncer Twitch drawing to happen ASAP. Being froze to Twitch chat. That's this.
I think Neo.
Ricardo's
Go ahead.
successfully landed Nature's Realm, and it just hasn't mattered at all.
Well, it was.
His rolling KO. I'm not sure he can win this because there's follow-up. He'll just be deleted. Sukram, in the meantime, died in mid.
Yeah, well, I was looking at the fight, quote unquote, while you were looking up top, and he tried, as he was dashing, he was knocked to 10% health by just Neo shooting him in the face.
Uh-oh. Thunderbird does find the kill. That's actually quite good, but that may be all because the tower's gone. Ra needs to hold this because he is the damage and almost as much HP as Ricardo, who's kind of fallen behind here.
Who cuts the wave between second and third tower? Look at what is KO doing?
Just making sure they win fast. Sukram's here now. Nature's Realm. Heart Splitter doesn't land beginnings. He's indeed comboed from it. Nature's Realm just serves to hold. Not bad at all.
So Neo is nearly unkillable now. Even, and it's weird to say because he's going full damage, but he now has the Bull Slaughter and Desticle combo, which means he can evade death and then heal back to full whenever something bad happens to him.
He's being so rude to everyone in the area. Now Triumph is caught out. KO wants the kill. Neo will get it.
Honestly, between Neo by himself, if Neo had just two people around him, I think they could take out the entire opposing team because they can't do anything about Neo. They just can't get to Neo, and he's gonna kill everyone.
Here's Ra next on the chopping block. Neo will instead take out some minions. Now 1v1 the tower. The tower.
Ra even has 9.3k gold, so he can theoretically do stuff, but unfortunately, theory doesn't apply to practice this time.
No, here's the wave, the focus on core. Ra's gone. They're deleted just like that. Ricardo wants an intervention. It won't happen. The semi-final goes to Blue Martini Gaming as they take it 3-0.
Avengers did a better job in that third game of making sure that it was at least competitive into the mid game. And I wanted to see how BMG would respond to a tight game, and they responded by crushing their faces.
I'll throw up the giveaway while we discuss things. I'll end the giveaway as we go off the screen. And then we'll draw during break. How do you want to do it? We can draw during break and announce it coming back from the break. Is that a good way to do it?
Is there any sort of spectacle to drawing?
Nah, I just push a button and then in the chat, Super Freedom Bot is like, this guy won!
But then it'll be spoilers.
Sounds spectacular.
It'll be spoilers in the chat though, because they'll know before we can say them. Take like 30 seconds.
We shouldn't. We'll not hold back the people. If you'd like to enter, this is your last moment. Drop exclamation point, give me skins. 1,000 vouchers to be given away. We'll close the giveaway as we leave this screen. Let's recap it briefly though. Zane, give me his numbers. 30% of the team's damage. Neo claiming the other 30%, meaning 60% between them. KZ Fox KO, doing nothing that game because they didn't need to.
I think that considering their opponents, Avengers is a really good team. I know some people in chat might not understand, but this is an extremely good team. I would say probably the second best team in NA, unless like some other team comes out of nowhere. The fact that BMG were able to just stomp over them anyway means that I think they're in good shape heading to AWC. I think obviously they're the favorites going to the finals. What's nice about BMG is their ability to punish mistakes, and you really need to be able to punish mistakes with just ferocity and no mercy, or else you're going to allow teams to get back into the game. No team is perfect in the world, and the way you win games is you make sure that every time they make a slight mistake, they're not even in the stadium. Old AHQ, yes. Well, that's what AHQ was best at doing. They were solid all around, but the best thing, once they saw a mistake, they pounced on it, and BMG is doing a really good job at doing that, and that will allow them to get game wins and perhaps series wins.
All right. Well, let's close things out. Go to a quick break for the next series. Before we do, though, we've been talking about this drawing for a while, so let's do it. I'm pressing the close giveaway button. 1,000 vouchers. Give me a drum roll. Nice. I appreciate that. The winner is Azeth7U7. God, I'm going to have you do that in the future. Because, wow, can I not read names?
Well, I can't read that name either. Please, people, I hate this when in Twitch and even in in-game names. Just please make your name readable. I have no idea what's happening.
Azeth 7U7.
Azeth lol? I'm guessing lol because 7 is like an L.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Do you see that man? He is in the chat.
Yes. He's typing, yeah.
All right. So, we do have more vouchers to give away, so stick around for those. We'll be back with more to give away after a quick break. Don't go far. The grand finals of the PVL. Victory Rush, a slot in the PVL, and $300. All after this. Oh, God. It's running backwards. Daniel, we broke time.
Oh, nice. Can we make a time machine now?
No, but we can really mess up the spacing on this lower third.
Oh, well, as long as we do something terrible and catastrophic, that's fine.
Yeah, that's about where we're at. Wow. Welcome back to the PVL Victory Rush. We have one more game to go today. That, of course, will be the Grand Finals. Blue Martini Gaming are playing against Assassin Squad. Not sure why that was so vehement.
Well, they are assassins.
You're right. Gotta warn them. Assassin Squad are coming. They, of course, won their game yesterday. They're now playing into the reigning Valor Series champions. And in order to walk away with $300 and a slot into the PVL, they need to win this next BO5.
They absolutely do. Unfortunately, we are 3 spectators in the lobby with no players.
Yeah, that's not great. But we got KZ
Ooh.
Fox here too, and he's got a cute cat as his profile picture, so it's not all bad.
It throws one player to come in to provide us with some great avatarness. It's Casey Fox.
Everyone else, all these AOV players are just weebs. It's like anime screenshots all day, and
Hey.
then in-game profile pictures also anime.
Yeah, well, they're part of the game. All of the anime ones, all the
No,
chibification.
some of these weebs
KO doesn't
screenshot their
have.
animes, set it as their Facebook profile picture, and then set their in-game avatar to be their Facebook profile picture.
We're looking at you, KO.
Yeah.
And it's not like we've given that away, because by being a top Conqueror player, people could just look at his avatar.
By being a top, I thought you were going to say by being a top Conqueror player, it's just a given that you're a weeb. That's also right. But still.
Well, what can you say? By the way,
all I can say that we have at least one more giveaway. Jory, do you want to talk through it? No.
I just don't have the voice you have. It's not the
Okay.
same.
The
Well,
giveaway's not the same.
How
without
many
me.
of what are we giving away?
And
Same format.
But I like. Okay, do it, but in your best D2 impersonation. We'll it to me how Daniel would.
Well,
Oh, I-
guys, useful statistics and facts tell me that.
Am I just a bro to like?
That's going really well. Keep going. You got this.
Oh goodness, do I really sound like a bro? Oh my god.
Yeah, I got nothing. I don't
What
like
was that?
hating on D2.
Was that just the California accent attempt?
Yeah, again, I'm from Alabama. I can't do accents. We just sound slow, and
Well,
But- we
What?
are gonna give another 1,000 voucher skin away. All you have to do is type in something
wait,
cool.
we have time.
that
Tell,
will-
what should the
Oh.
command be? Because we have time to fill. PVL?
Let's say
Exclamation mark PVL for Premier Valor? Like, we can do that.
We
do
can make
exclamation
them
point
type in-
D2AOV.com. We have options.
How about
I was
T-
gonna say D2AOV.
D2AOV.com. All right. Right.
Wait, but if they put no, but they're gonna give you banned for putting
Oh,
in.
yes, they're all going to be banned
links.
for putting a link in the chat, and I can't wait. D2AOV.com, all written out. I'll put an
.com
example
DOT.
on the screen so that you can see what that looks like, and open the giveaway in a moment.
Is the 2 a 2 or it's spelled out?
I don't know. You can choose. Enter a giveaway for 1,000 vouchers. All you need to do is write D2AOV.com.
Oh goodness.
They may still
good
all
thing-
be banned. That may still happen. I don't know
It's a
how
good thing that
my
I,
bot is.
I'm just happy about the extra domain where you can type in dtwoaov.com and it'll come out fine.
Can you type in D2AOV.com to
to test if we get banned or not.
yeah, no, but like, can you type it in as just all written out like that and still get the web URL, still get the web page?
I don't think it's possible to have a website without a dot in it.
I feel like it should.
A web address.
You can join the giveaway.
Don't
D2AOV.com.
Don't you
don't
need
an
the
exclamation mark.
exclamation?
You just write D2AOV.com.
Really?
Huh.
No exclamation mark.
Nah, we're changing things up because you don't put an exclamation mark before D2AOV.com when you put it in your web browser to find some sick guides. So you don't put an exclamation mark before D2AOV.com when you put it in the chat to win some sick vouchers.
Awesome.
Just an ethics thing. No
You
one's
can
got
go to
banned,
my...
which is both good
Right.
and slightly worrying that my bot doesn't catch that. But hey, it's all fine.
If someone wants to go out of their way to type dot when they're writing, I mean, the thing is, if people can't click on it, then it makes it so much harder. Not even
Yeah.
dot.
I mean, if you're spamming viruses and you go through that much trouble, you almost deserve to
Get it through.
get people's credit cards.
You can look at how...
isn't a virus, but it is a website.
If you go to d2aov.com, you can learn all about how Fennec got a massive buff in the Taiwan patch coming to you soon.
Really? Hold on. Whoa, that is your #1 article.
Yeah.
I see that. I just wrote out d2aov.com and put it in my web browser.
And
That's so
shot
easy.
it went right into your face. You're like, ah, that's a Fennec.
It's actually a really boring thumbnail. It's just a picture of the map.
Oh. You know what I could do?
Mhm.
I could change that. I could actually change that. Because
Alright,
I made the
don't
thumbnail.
get distracted. We've got distracted. The 1,000 voucher giveaway will be underway. We'll draw it at the end of the series. In the meantime, let's talk about this upcoming series.
This upcoming series is David versus Goliath, and we all know who the Goliath is. Or do we? Wait, but David wins.
I'm like too tired for this, and you said David versus Goliath, and I was thinking of David and Assassin Dave, and like trying to work out what he was playing.
Oh my god.
I'm too tired for this. But yes, Blue Martini Gaming are currently the regional champions. They are the Valor series representatives. Assassin Squad are a bunch of cool dudes. But that's not enough.
They have made the finals here, though, so even if they lose, they still get $50. And, well, barring a huge upset, which is, I suppose, possible, if they show a good enough showing, even if they don't qualify in the next 2 tournaments, they could get invited. So this, even if they lose here, it's good to show a good showing.
Could you make your website a little bit shorter?
Shorter? What do you mean?
Well, it doesn't quite fit on my lower third.
I don't get it.
Like the end of the M of d2aov.com is like a little
Okay.
bit too big for my graphics.
That is your fault. You could have just replaced the TWO with a 2,
You
the
think
number 2.
You think I'm... You're right.
It's a 5-letter URL. Come on.
You're right.
How can
You're
you-
right. Also could have not written out the dot. Actually, there are a lot of things I could have done. We're currently waiting on the final Blue Martini member. Despite
Zane.
being the Valor
Zane.
Series representatives, they are not on time.
Just don't miss any planes to Vietnam, and they're good.
No, it's been really good. We've never had a Valor Series team win the Valor Series that I'm like worried about their traveling. Because I've had... No, that sounds silly, but there are like esports players where they're great and nice and perfect, and I wouldn't trust them to travel alone.
You've never been worried about
No,
AWC
ALG are super
representative before?
sensible. All their players have their heads on straight.
kind of.
All right, a little bit of shade. But they also had Rest, who is like the ultimate esports dad, and who was definitely going to make sure everyone got there.
I just remember being in the lobby the next day after Valor Series Finals and Sleepy just being like a dead human being, but he was there properly.
He was there on time. Sleepy, I bet, has never missed a flight in his life.
I came very close to missing a flight for an esports thing, actually, because I got very confused about the trains, even though I had lived in Japan already for a few years at that point.
I did miss a flight once in Germany for an esports event because I had a 5 minutes in the terminal to get from one side of Frankfurt Airport to the other.
Oh.
Frankfurt is the largest airport in the world, fun fact.
That's not you missing your flight. That's the airline forcing you to miss your flight by incompetence.
So that didn't happen, and then I had to like talk my way onto the second plane because they were real sure that I wasn't eligible for a rescheduling.
What? How?
I don't know, man. But I didn't get there. That was DreamHack that year.
My moment was coming back from caster school, and in San Francisco they gave us very little time, and they're taking their sweet time getting the next flight. And not only that, but we were actually there on time. Me and another girl who was on the flight who were taking the same connection, and we were there on time. Like, nope, we already filled your spots. Like, what is this American thing of filling up spots when people don't show up? Like, right. We were literally like the flight hadn't taken off yet. There's still like 20 minutes before the flight takes off, but they'd already boarded. So they're like, "Oh no, we gave your seats to someone else." Like, what in the what? And it was a freaking flight from San Francisco to Japan. How is there like extra seats on a flight like that? I'm already.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I know at least one other thing where we filled all the seats.
Blue team's turn to ban.
Go on.
It's this game. Seats are
Nice.
full. The players are logged in. It's game number 1 in the Valor Series. All right.
Very well. Very nicely done.
Your turn. But like
Game number 1 of the Valor Series Finals. Actually, not Valor Series. This is
Ha!
Valor Series. This is PVL. You did it to me too.
Jerry, save us.
I was like, I said something wrong here.
To ban.
And
PVL
now.
Victory Rush. There you go.
You cut off Jerry's
No.
wonderful prediction.
No, I was gonna nail it, and
I
he
was
just
so
was
sure you
not.
were too.
There.
We are both tired, apparently.
Blue
But
team's
it is
turn
not
to ban.
the Valor Series. It is the PVL Victory Rush, which, in my defense, very similar initials. Assassin's Squad over on the right, Blue Martini, the left.
What if you just call it the PVSL, the Premier Valor Series League?
PVSL sounds like either a very serious medical condition or an obscenity.
Huh? I'm not getting this again for it.
But a very serious medical
Blue
condition,
team's
at the
turn
very least.
to ban.
If
Yeah,
you
at the
or
very
loved one
least.
has been diagnosed with PVSL, you may be entitled
Oh,
to
no.
compensation.
Oh no.
Draft phase so far. Out of meta bans again from Blue Martini. Tulin Teamy, the focus.
Red
I suppose
team's turn
you either ban both marksmen, that being Cafani and Hayate, in the ban phase, or you just ban none of them.
Yeah.
Because you might as well get the other.
They will
The
get
emergence
other.
of Hayate, the fact that there are like 5. Well, it's like they're like Cafani, Hayate, and like Florentino are like the quote unquote must bans, but not really the must bans. At least the strongest heroes, and then there's multiple bannable heroes after that, like Richter, like Darcy, and it's gotten to the point where it's overflowing. So then people are like, let's just target ban because there's less of a point to just banning stronger heroes because now everyone gets it. So let's just focus our bans toward the strategy rather than we need to get these strong heroes out of the game.
Crashed Cafani will be locked in. So we talk about this with Telenas, where Telenas doesn't work well with Crashed because you land Metamorphosis and Telenas suddenly can't shoot the thing she was shooting. How does Cafani Crash work a similar way?
to pick.
I would say yeah. The dream is to have it so your entire team is engaging onto the enemy, and Caphany or your backline marksman is left untouched. The issue is what happens a lot is what you just mentioned, and the space just isn't there to get in.
Illumia hovered as well above all other mages.
No,
And
she's picked already.
it will be the Liliana Thane opposing.
Blue team's turn to
Liliana,
ban.
odd out of meta drafts, but KZ Fox makes Liliana work, so we don't talk about that. But Illumia chosen instead of anything else, I think confirms what we were talking about earlier. This is the meta lady now.
Right. It also helps. There's also real good strategy, or synergy with the Crushed. And it's also harder to mess up that combo unless you exactly pop Cataclysm as he's pushing everyone away. If they get pushed away and then you Cataclysm, that's fine. Everyone gets smashed and they're dead. Or you can pop Cataclysm, land everyone with a stun, and then hit them again with a Metamorphosis. So you can do it either way as long as it's not exactly wrongly timed.
Mm-hmm. I'd also like to point out that the effect I was discussing earlier, I was talking about how my caps lock font is making chat shout the giveaway codes at us. Still in effect. D2AOV.com
To pick.
Yes.
is what you need to type in the chat in order to get or be entered for the 1,000 voucher giveaway. We'll draw that at the end of the grand finals.
Unfortunately, looking at my stat sites, it's not going up, so people are just having fun typing it.
It is really fun to type, though.
And say.
D2AOV.com.
Yeah.
The ban phase completes. Now we're into the second phase, and it will be an Aurum going through, which is a much more traditional synergy with Caphany. Also works well with Illumia.
But that begs the question, where are they putting Crush and or Aurum?
Mm-hmm. I'd assume Aurum and support Crash sideline.
Right, but then you're not getting the real synergy from the Metamorphosis and Cataclysm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the Aurum is supposed to be doing here.
How do you feel about what the Arrow is supposed to be doing? Is that jungle Arrow?
It seems like it. I feel like Zane just wants to continue to experiment, or at least BMG is trying to experiment, because they want to know if this hero is going to come out in the AWC and they get caught off guard, right? Because we've seen in the past where, why is Thailand making Garak meta, and then they get completely messed up by it. So they want to be, I think they don't want to be caught off guard by any nonsense coming from the majority of East Asian and Southeast Asian teams.
So their preparation entails drafting Arrow with Ryoma maybe in sideline. We'll see. Darcy.
They're both capable of doing either, so I wouldn't be surprised either way. Both Yoma and Arrow can go both DS lane and jungle. So
it would be weird actually if he was jungle, because he was drafted by Nia and Zane was like hovering. So given that Zane had to pick that cycle as well, it would be odd. The arrow does get passed around to KO, as I suspected. Running the side lane, Ryoma and jungle in the hands of Zane.
we haven't seen Zane go on Yoma in quite a while, actually. So this will be interesting. But the nice thing... Sorry?
I was going to ask, this is just out of curiosity, not to plug your website, d2aov.com. But have you done a tier list recently?
No, I haven't. And the reason for that is because I released a tier list in April just on YouTube. And that VOD, or not VOD, the video is embedded in the current tier list. So if you go to tier list, I have things written up for like since February. But if you want to see like the speculative kind of April tier list, it's there. And the reason why I didn't want to make an actual tier list and write everything up is because I hadn't seen any pro games, and I want my tier list to be accurate, and I don't want to be speculative. So I made like a kind of, everyone was clamoring for a tier list, so I made that. But I didn't write a full one out because I didn't want to be wrong, essentially. I wanted to make sure. And you can't be right unless you have all the information. And I didn't have all the information.
Want to be wrong.
Yeah. Well, if I'm wrong, then everyone's wrong because I just ruined everyone's
All
perception
right,
of heroes.
a hard left turn, no longer.
No. If I'm wrong and
like,
people
full
read it and then they have the wrong
It's
idea.
like, nah, then everyone's wrong.
No. What I meant was if I'm wrong and people read it, then those people are going to have the wrong perception and they're going to think that certain heroes are better than other people. And if I'm wrong, then it screws up what other people do. That's what I meant.
You didn't want to infect the minds of the people. I respect that.
Yes, exactly.
Intellectual contagion. A problem since the Dark Ages. It's game number 1.
Arena of Valor.
A best of 5 grand final here at the PVL Victory Rush. $350 on the line. 300 to first place, 50 to second. But you can combine them, and then your tournament sounds bigger. That's a little trick ESL uses. And every other tournament organizer.
It's the prize pool, $500,000 AWC.
KO and Zane will lead the charge here instantly into the enemy jungle. KO trying to steal it. Zane's there to punish. They're both driven back, though. A little over-ambitious. Oh, are they? Errol lands his passive for the first time this game, and you can see the effect of the Bone Shaver wall. Beginnings leads off the charge. I spoke too soon. I judged too soon. This tactic may work after all. Neo does get punished. Dimensional Walk hits a Bone Shaver. Slows things down. Beginnings has to play it smart around Spartan. At the end of all that, nobody falls, but not for lack of trying.
And Beginnings, he has all the mana now. He feels pretty good about himself.
He did
It's like, I don't typically have this buff, unless I'm playing Crushed.
Kind of weird he ended up with it, but alright.
So that's an interesting invade, because on the one hand, Aurum is the master of invades and counter invades because people just have to live inside her beast. On the other hand, if you're going to invade someone, Darcy is one of the better ones because you have to pick the Dimensional Cube first, and it's hard for him to fight back with just his Dimensional Cube available because of how clunky it is, and he's not going to land it on heroes necessarily.
Oh. A dive through. Neo doesn't get the crashed, but I'm always scared. So this is top lane Hayate. Bot lane Katni, joined by Spartan.
Oh. KZ Fox just auto-attacked and stole away his own monster. That is cheeky.
How'd that happen? Alright, Neo. Chill. Dives underneath the tower alongside Beginnings, gets a free kill. Leon, gone.
I'm still not sure where these heroes are supposed to be. I guess it doesn't matter as long as you have good rotations.
Now you're thinking like a North American team. Abyssal Dragon, the focus. Spartan will be in trouble as Beginnings is well-timed. Valiant charge. Spartan has to flick over the wall. Now's backs up as well. Bone Shaver drops Spartan down to a sliver of HP. Now's has to keep running. Tries the Dimensional Portal through. Cataclysm will land, but the kill's there first. They've lost a lot here in the jungle. KZ Fox and the rest of the BMG side will double down, taking away the Sage buff.
So for a 5-man committal against 3, I think that Assassin's Squad did a reasonable job defending that while getting farm on the other side of the map. But it still ended up being worth it here for BMG because they managed to get that gold lead.
They have quite a sizable early gold lead. This is quite good by anyone's standards. I will say less of it than normal is concentrated over towards Zane. Normally you look at the gold over on the BMG side and not 100% of it is Zane's for some random reason. But Leon mid. Fusillade does land, dropping Neo quite low. Leon has no HP as well, so both of them just need to back off and recall. Mirror matchup in mid. Ensures fresh bait for Spartan, who goes forward to check the bushes. KZ Fox looks like he might want a piece. Will land the blinding light, shining light combo, but Cataclysm scares him back. And they don't quite feel confident going for the fight. Now Spartan wanders into the wrong part of the jungle, though. Now's can't save him. Dimensional Cube will be too little too late. Bone Shaver still doing massive damage.
Zane as well with massive damage going on to that Aurum. Dioma is actually very good against Aurum.
Oh. Yeah. Leon will play it safe. Very good against Illumia as well. He has to flick it back well behind the tower. Recall again. Poor Leon. That's like all he's been doing for the last 10 minutes. Here's a Fusillon just to try and find some damage. Zayn, however, dives forward. Spartan has to snare to interrupt to keep his carry alive. Leaving me a full CC combo, dropping him down low. This is brutal. My god, what is this dive? Up top, KO wants the kill. Drops Nows to a tiny amount of HP, well behind the tower. Neo just wants it. What are you doing? He gets the kill.
I think he was disappointed too. I think he wanted both, but they didn't even fight back against him. That was the fear he put against him, that even though he died to the tower, he just gets executed and no kill is attributed to Assassin Squad. They were that afraid. They didn't get one shot on him. One auto attack would have gotten them the return kill credit.
That's absurd. Beginnings dropping a little bit of BM and BMG down towards the bot line.
Yeah, as he's
I'm a
wanting to
big
do.
fan of Errol, by the way.
Yeah, I think he's better than people give him credit for. He might be just a mid-tier hero at best, but it still makes him viable in competitive play.
Well, this is a rank breaker rush build, interestingly enough. Beginnings, what are you doing? What? What? Alright. Just dive.
I think you do need a
tower.
Yeah, I know that you like to build him very tanky, but I think you need to have at least a decent amount of damage because of the fact that his passive really rewards that. So, getting in there,
Well,
dealing damage is
if you're
important.
this far ahead, there's no reason not to. I think normally you want to go for a little bit of HP before you
Oh
do
god.
that. What
Oh
is
god.
that?
Oh god. Spartan just regretted everything in life.
Hell, know that there was a whole lot he had control of to regret. Hunter will play back now. Oh my god, Zane doesn't care. A dive through does land. Now's running from KO behind the tower. Can stay alive. Finally shutting down the arrow. KO falls. In the meantime, they lose everything down towards the rest of the lane.
I hate to say I told you so, but well, actually I do. I like to say I told you so, but
I know.
the Arum, what has the Arum really done this game?
There was 1-6 snare save.
Yeah, but it was a save. It wasn't like a punish. It wasn't like, because if there was a normal stun, then perhaps the caffeine could have turned there at that. I know at the moment you were mentioning, but yeah, it wasn't to happen.
Now I'll agree. Spartan has been struggling to find an impact this game. BMG running wild across the map.
BMG?
I am tired.
That was actually pretty nice. That's a little like flair on the end of the name.
Yeah.
BMG.
I'm trying out a new accent. Can add it. On top. Zen goes in. What is this? What is that?
Oh my
King
goodness.
Glorious Bell. Neo combos in. There's the snare. It doesn't matter. A double kill to beginnings. Zayn gets one more. A complete team wipe.
I just saw an entire team's health bars just get annihilated. You know when you see a hero and the game, the Arena Valor game shows how much damage they've lost over like, moments because it's like white, I think. That was their entire team and all of their health bars just like, here's how much damage they've taken. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's like, oh my goodness. BMG, you are madmen.
I am legitimately in awe of what I just witnessed. That was absurd. So Ryoma flicker in. Spectral Iron grabs like 3 people in it. Beginnings just casually follows up with an Avalon's Fury King's Glory. Oh my god, they do it again. Just like that. Nows is gone. Spartan follows. Metamorphosis breaks things up. Neo will at least go down and trade. They use the tower well, and KO stunned up. Finally, a little bit overconfident, but even so, it may still go bad. Fusillade keeps Zane and KZ Fox back, but the fight win still goes against them, despite the fact they're playing behind a tower.
Yeah, typically fights will go against you when you're down 10,000. Zane, stop fighting 1v2! Oh my god.
Or do. Don't tell him what to do, Daniel.
You know what? I didn't say it because I didn't think he was gonna win. I said it. Wow, they caught him. They caught him on
Nope.
the edge, but they caught him. I've never seen that little light be outside of the actual portal. It seems like something that shouldn't happen. Like when you get frozen by a Diao-chan after you flickered, but you're like in a
Or
different
when you get
place.
stunned by Gilder when you're half a football field away from stun.
Well, that's an AoE stun. It, like once it hits someone, it explodes. Anyway, yeah, me yelling at Zane there is just to like stop with the inhumanity of his like killing everyone. Not that I didn't think he was gonna win it.
Right, glad you know, but Dark Slayer will be picked up. BMG get Dark Slayer in 10 minutes, which is significant. Now Beginnings will scare back now, forcing him to use his ult just to survive. It's a full retreat, and Neo doesn't care. Finally goes down too far underneath the tower. Beginnings follows him. KZ Fox wants to flex though, and that'll work out. What is this game? VMG just
They're not even
existing behind towers, not even going for the game close. Neo finally gets snared. We'll just summon the Drake inside the enemy base. All right.
The Drake has only one target here. He can't actually wait. Oh, never mind. They killed the top tower. I got confused for a moment there.
Yeah.
So not only were they behind their towers, they're behind the towers that were behind the towers. So they couldn't actually attack the towers because I don't know if you guys know this, but they're immune when you're when the front towers are still alive.
KZ Fox will win this. Watch this. Oh, he missed. He had to flicker in. He was trying to flicker in and he missed the flicker. That's really sad. He would have won that if he'd flickered over the wall and then leaped the Fox out. That was his plan, because then you get the Riki shot. But he missed the flicker over the wall, and as a result, couldn't do the combo. Heartbreaking.
Neo nearly kills Hunter, but then nearly dies in the retaliation. Part of what made KZ Fox miss as well is Nahos went into his dimensional walk, which means he's not targetable. And once you go into the Fox form as Liliana, your standard combo is to use your auto attack in order to get more damage into it. The first ability, which I'm forgetting right now, because she has 6 abilities. But yeah, that's why he missed. No. First ability in Fox form.
Oh, Foxtrot. I got you.
Foxtrot. Right. Foxtrot, leap with a fox, unpredictable. Reiki shot.
Don't know much.
She has a lot of
ability name in AOV. It's your guy.
She has 6 ability names. Yeah.
Good stun out. Zane wants more. He'll keep diving. I want to see them not play overconfident. They don't do that.
No.
Neo dances back, gets shut down. Now Fusilade to follow. Assassin Squad make their avarice hurt them a little bit. Spartan lands a snare. Cataclysm as well. KO's low, but the Bone Shaver, he gets 2 and all his HP back. He will be fine, and he full commits to the fight. Twice more. The Bone Shaver rings out, and twice more. The kills come through. A complete team wipe. No minions to immediately combo it with, but they will get that bottom tower.
You know what? I actually thought that Assassin Squad might have been able to take that fight because they're starting to get to their breaking points and power spikes. And they were actually taking it for a moment there. They took out Neo looking good, and then the massive Bone Shaver just takes them all out and makes sure KO goes from like 0 health to like 60% in one fell swoop. That's all it took.
That animation is really fitting. Just like,
It's
I will
massive.
hit you with a sword the size of your entire team.
Yeah, and starting next patch, when the Taiwan patch comes over, he won't be able to be stunned out of it when he's mid Bone Shaver.
Oh, I can't wait. Give me the stats. Ooh. Those were the stats I wanted.
Which part?
Hunter, 40% of his team's damage. Very strong performance from him, despite being on the losing side.
I gotta say that was a disappointing performance from Leon on Illumium. It was a bunch of random cataclysms that didn't hit until the very last fight.
Game 1 of this series is over, but it's a best of 5. We'll go ahead.
Nahos. We need to point this out, even though it'll probably make him sad. He has the least damage on his team, including his supports.
That would make me sad. We'll get a lightning fast break. We'll be back with map number 2 at the very end of the series. We'll also be giving away 1,000 vouchers. If you'd like to know how to enter that, You simply type d2aov.com in the Twitch chat. Don't go far, we'll be right back with game number 2 in like a minute.
Blue team's turn to ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Premier Valor League. I need to lower the music volume as well as do the but I'm good. Welcome back. My name's still TJ. Still joined by Daniel D2AOV.com. We're into the second game of the best of 5 grand finals. Blue Martini did dominate game number 1, and they're looking for a game 2 win.
Yeah, let's see if they decide to mess around with their opponents going forward. I believe they'll continue to pick actual competitions, but the clowning at the end there was kind of nuts. Just testing their limits, I guess. Testing how far they can push their abilities.
Sure.
Diving under towers very, very far.
Yeah.
I love how Pithy 10 Carp his soul has been ripped out by having to write out D2AOV.com, but he wants those vouchers.
I want those vouchers, but I haven't written D2AOV.com because if my own bot picks me, I want super sketch.
These are very similar bands to last time.
The side of Hayase's face is missing.
Yeah, sometimes portraits, like, you can't tell what's going on. The biggest one is Errol. When you see him on the minimap, it's like, what the heck is going on? Is that a skull? Like, what is going on?
He's just a chill anime boy.
Everyone's an anime boy too.
I like this Darcy skin because he looks like someone that you'd like to hang out with, you know?
This is a pre-buff Fennec, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. First pick too. Locked in instantly for Assassin Squad. Caffeine and L'Oreal hovered in response.
I'm not going to comment on L'Oreal. Doesn't seem like a thing. Beginnings is probably telling him to pick bottom because bottom has been banned out a lot of the time. So he just wants the bottom. The big boy bottom.
Ooh. These are some hovers. Let's talk about the Fennec though. Why Fennec and why not Fennec? Because we haven't seen any for a while. I think week 3 of Valor series?
Well, I was about to say the pros and cons. On the pros and cons list, the cons is way higher, but actually that's a mistake. The cons list is just he's not very good. The pros is he can clear quickly and snowball the game, but that's not going to happen against BMG. So, more than anything, this looks like a little bit of troll. Although, okay, there is an argument, a tiny argument to be made that this is not a troll. Fennec and Magong are extreme early game heroes. Or extreme early game heroes.
Extreme synergy as well, because they both just want people within range to stack on, and then they burst them.
Red team's turn
Yeah.
to ban.
But the synergy, they don't synergize with each other, and
No.
the fact they
But
they don't.
have
It's
the
not like
same
one
effect
keeps them
to
close.
people.
Yeah, it's not like one keeps them close and the other does the damage. It's like they both hope that you stand near them. Please. Please and thank you.
One problem though, Zuka's already been drafted into them. Kilgroth as well, both dive burst characters. Kilgroth has the sustain to stay up at close range and ignore CC.
Blue team's turn to ban.
Yeah, you either want extreme. Well, you want to be able to engage them and take them out before they can get their stacks up. And one way you do that is you stun them, which is nice to have Wonder Woman for. Kilgroth is. I would say that Kilgroth isn't necessarily the best, but if you include Kilgroth and Lubu as heroes who can just heal through almost anything, then that starts to make sense. But yeah, you want to burst them. You want. There's multiple ways to deal with them, which is why they're not good. But you want to have a way to deal with them. You don't want to have like someone who like nibbles up close. Then you're in trouble.
There's the Wukong as well, joining the ban pile, getting rid of dive, but I'm not really sure why you do that because the Zuka ship has already sailed. There is dive burst against you. No use banning more of it.
I wonder if BMG forgo a marksman this game.
Apparently.
Xanis is bizarre to me, unless they're just so confident. Okay.
Wisp comes through instead for that marksman roll. A little bit more range damage. The Violet, the burst range damage was already removed, but the Wisp comes pretty close in terms of burst and can certainly do well in a sustained fight.
By the way, the complaint against Xanis wasn't that it's Xanis, is that he's a very late game hero and he's going against extreme early game, and that is playing with fire a little bit.
What?
Pyrrha is very early game as well. So is Dioma. This is a extreme early game comp.
Yeah, but Pyrrha's bad. All right. So
no, but she's good early game.
Instead.
The healing that you get from Pyrrha keeps you on the map and allows you to snowball. Alice is a late game hero though, so they've kind of like hedged their bets a little bit.
Either this Maganga Fennec works real fast or it does not.
Yeah, I agree. Ignis is a good pick here if they lock it in because he is a good early game hero as well. And he can mitigate some of the stuff that they're capable of doing. Kali is not though. Kali's the opposite. What you can do with Kali though is clear the wave very, very quickly, and that allows you to, yeah.
But we go to the Ignis. So early game burst will be joined by Zuka, Kilgroth, both tend towards the later game, but have the dive potential to get up close. Wonder Woman, Zuka, Kilgroth is a dive combo the gods dream of. Ignis Wisp both have good AoE punish on top of it. I really like the combo should Blue Martini get mid-late with that team. Assassin Squad are either going to win real quick and just get out of control, or they are not.
Yep. It's either like an 8-minute game from Assassin Squad or it's a 10-minute game from BMG because they've been shut down.
Could be a fast one.
Very much so.
You
Actually,
can-
there is a chance as well that they get shut down so hard that BMG starts snowballing because once the Assassin Squad lineup falls behind, there's nothing they can do about it. So this is either 8-minute game for Assassin or an 8 to 10-minute game from BMG. One of the two.
If you would like to join our giveaway, you can do so by typing d2aov.com into the chat. You have to say it as you do, but you can do that
Very loudly.
very loudly. When you do that, you are entered into the giveaway for 1,000 vouchers. We'll draw that at the end of the series. Wow!
You know, for a 5-letter URL, it's actually a long URL to say.
Lot of
D2AOV,
syllables.
5 syllables. I guess you could just say it out if it's spelled out with DTWO, you just go D12. D12. Did you go to d12.com?
No. It
The
sounds
12.
like more refined, I'm not gonna lie. It's like French and expensive, the luxury line.
Arena of Valor. Get ready.
D12.
Minions will
Like
be
Tarjay.
deployed in 5
Where did you buy those socks? d2aov.com.
Prepare
Welcome to
the
game
12.
number 2 of the best of 5 grand finals. We do have an odd composition now from Assassin's Squad. I'll try and make it work
Invade.
off the bat.
5-man invade. Wow.
No one left
They are
behind
committed to this
guard
one.
their own buff, so KO just chills with it. He'll pick that up, no problem.
Beg?
Already feeling that. You can see the poison stacks just working away with him for a while.
Oh! No, is it gonna... Oh, he gets it anyway. I thought that was gonna be amazing. Lasso of Truth. Interesting that he did go Lasso of Truth first, though, as support Wonder Woman.
I do that too, but mostly just because it's fun. Lasso is like the most fun ability. Oh my god, the speed of that lasso on the minions.
The thing is, if you miss that, you're all of a sudden under their tower. So, oh my
You
goodness.
didn't miss
Oh!
that one though, forces a flicker out. Spartanus to burn the all-important talent early on.
Picking Wonder Woman as a support is kind of like picking Richter as a support. You just do so much more damage than you're expecting coming from the other side support. Also, Nia's not having a good time against this Yevneth. Beginning talked about Zuka yesterday and saying he was like a late game hero. I'm still not totally in agreement with that because he does so much damage with his 2 abilities early game. That said, the chi nerf to him over a couple of patches is very significant.
3v3 now gathering on the Abyss. Ooh, good barrel bomb actually. Sets up for Neo if he wants in. He will go in and be swiftly forced back. KO in the meantime. 1v1's the Dragon. Full rotate will be here. Assassin Squad have the 5-man push. Beginnings will be out too far. Good clap shock and all to answer. Hunter burns low. The CC combo melts him and his tree friend. They're both gone and falling back. The rest of the team will focus this Abyssal Dragon, but the turnaround is here. It goes to Nels. He walks away with it. Beginnings can't lasso in. 2 players for the Dragon is the trade, the devil's bargain that Assassin's crew make.
Normally, you'd be happier about Assassin Squad stealing away that Abyssal Dragon, but that's literally what Fennec is there to do, is to take objectives like that. So that is the bare minimum. If he doesn't get that, then the game is effectively over. So I guess we are in a status quo situation here where we get what we thought was going to happen, and we'll see how both teams respond.
Poke in. Hunter tried to make that fight happen.
Yeah. The thing is, before the one issue I'm looking at, and this could be problematic going forward, is they had the perfect start to that. They had the Sunshine into a perfect branching out that slapped both of them together.
But
And there was no
plus
follow.
Ignis is such a good combo.
Right. Well, that's the thing. They have a better team fight situation.
Holy brand, my god! They're focused down. There's that combo again. Beginnings will be burned in answer. 1 for 1, sparse and gone for the opposing support. But for as much as Beginnings dies, he's the player who can get away with it.
Yeah, normally you think of Wonder Woman as one of the key heroes on the side, but again, he is a support, and to take away the mid for that, oh, KZ Fox, don't do it to him! Don't do it to him! Oh my goodness.
That's so mean. Nature's Realm will be burned. KO just ignores it. He's already popped the Gore Lord, meaning he can out-trade at close range, particularly with the Shock and All through to back him up. Zane's already wrecked him. Mid lane. This looks dicey as well. Spartan and Hunter had to play back. That tower down bottom should Valor at the very least be poked. Holy Brand will drop Valkyria. Oh, the plays! He's able to get out. Zane chases him through the tower and will find the kill.
You know, TJ, Ignis used to be a first ban in every single game. Like, every single game he was banned. Then he got a small nerf, and then other heroes came to the game that could kind of deal with him. So
what I said to you like 2 months ago.
What?
Ignis is still viable, people just forgot.
Yeah. Well, I didn't disagree with you when you said it. He's still very much viable. And I think you're going to see him a lot at the AEWC because global ban pick situation. And especially when Sephra comes out. Ignis, despite the nerfs that he got, he's still a viable soft counter to Sephra.
Just this much CC, it's gross.
Oh, goodness.
Like, what do you do about that now that he's gotten ahead, especially?
The biggest thing is KZ Fox is just nuts on him.
Right there. Half HP, 2 abilities.
He's actually a very hard hero to play, though. You need to land your Fire Crash, and then right after that, the Rain of Fire, or else he's literally the purpose of playing him has gone away. And KZ Fox has landed almost literally every single one.
Hunter melts up top. He thought he was getting away. Beginnings was letting him think that. Landed the lasso, pulled him back in. Kill was guaranteed.
He played with his heart, and his body, and his mind.
Mostly his kill feed.
Yeah. Well, the kill feed won't show. Neo, hi! How's it going?
It's the wrong push.
That's the one time that both Maganga and Fennec have been able to just gang up on someone like, look, when someone's near us, we can kill them real easy.
We'll have a second one in a moment. Light buff stolen away from KO, who tries to run, but he's CC immune. What are you gonna do? He's just slithering out. He's too slippery. Spartan stunned as well. He's all gross and slimy. You can't hold him. Beginnings will dive to the front line. He may go down, but KO's back. He's lathered up and ready for round 2. Now's dropped down. We'll need to play safe and back.
That's one of the few times you see BMG not courting, not going for the same in the
Neo!
same fight, but
1v2! He's got it! They're both so low. KO's just got too many choices. He can't decide. Doesn't go for either kill in time. As a result, the entire team's on like 1 HP. Spartan, the highest HP member, will now arrive and watch his tower just get destroyed, turn around, head back in the other direction, because screw that, man.
Kilgroth and Wisp are ridiculous at killing towers, and they understood. One of the weaknesses of Kilgroth, other than he's able to sustain in fights, which is his strength, but he does have a very long cooldown on his dash, which came into play there. He wasn't able to actually finish off those kills.
Sage buff is up for Spartan and Nows. If they want it, they take it. It's interesting that that's like the first of their own buffs they've gotten uncontested in a while.
Right, which is funny because their entire team is built around taking objectives very quickly.
Now, you're fine. Fire Crash didn't land. No stun combo. Ignis only gets the stun if he combos Fire Crash with that Rain of Fire.
I'm just watching KO have a
down,
good time on
though,
bottom.
Zane, you're disgusting. Valkyria tries to go in to get Zane low, but it doesn't matter. A full CC combo ensures the rest of the kills will follow. Leon's chunked down. A lasso, a full team wipe. That should be game. Blue Martini have complete control, a complete ace. They can just walk the minions up to the bottom tower, maybe the mid tower as well. They've got 6 more seconds to take the core. I think they can do it. Full race in. Tanking, KO, nicely done. He tanks for the minion wave. Now the focus will come through. Nows tries to break it up. He's got the deep spark applied. It does not matter. Game number 2 for Blue Martini.
Ooh, boy. That was fun. They made Wisp jungle work. They made Wonder Woman support work. All in the same game. Feels good. Also, I was right. 8 to 10 minutes. 8 to 10 minutes over on the side of BMG.
KZ Fox pulling out the Ignis, doing me proud.
Yeah, it was nuts. I would not be surprised in the slightest to see a BMG put KZ Fox on the Ignis in the AWC. Because there are quite a few matchups in which he's good, but again, people have forgot about him. And KZ Fox, if he can play like that, then it's perfectly all right for them to pick it up for him.
How do you feel about Kilgroth?
Kilgroth is a situational hero. You pick him in certain matchups, like if you're going against an Omen or a Lubu or something like that, where he can duel with them and not lose. The biggest issue I have with him is he doesn't provide CC, so he's not as good in a team fight unless he's just getting to the back lane. He needs, if he's not dominating his lane and getting a ton of farm, then he's not really doing his job, and that's a lot of pressure to put on the side lane, especially when you're going against some of the top side laners in the world. His other weakness is super long cooldown on the dash, like I mentioned. So not as flexible, but when he's in there, when he's getting farmed, he's doing very well.
Well, we'll go to a lightning-fast break. We'll be back with game number 3, potentially the final match of the Valor series. PVL Rush. Wow. Some about me and getting tired and the Valor series. Like all coming together in a real bad way. We'll be back with that game 3 after a lightning-fast break. I'll put the giveaway details up on the screen if you'd like to enter during it. It'll be like a minute. Game 3 after this.
Blue team's turn to ban.
The only thing faster than BMG in-game
Team's turn to
is how
ban.
quickly they move through the lobby. Oh, I did it! I hit the button that made motion transitions happen when I shouldn't have.
It only took until the last game. You almost made it.
Yeah, wow, I knew I was tired enough that would happen tonight.
Team's
Ladies and
turn
gentlemen,
to
welcome
ban.
back. This is potentially the final game. We should give Assassin and the squad that benefit of the doubt, though it is the benefit of the doubt because Blue Martini picked up both games of this BO5 Grand Final in sterling fashion so far. I didn't even say sterling. That's something that's happening because I'm tired. 2-0.
I don't like the word sterling. You don't know why?
I know why I don't like the word sterling, because one of my dad's friends growing up was Sterling, and I didn't like him.
His name was Sterling?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a Clippers fan. Los Angeles Clippers is a basketball team. And the old owner was a racist, like, cheap owner who never did anything with the team. And his name was Donald Tokowitz, but the name he changed it to legally was Donald Sterling. And, yeah, he's a terrible man. And he was caught...
0 for 2. We're in the draft phase for game number 3, as Blue Martini are 2-0 up. The ban phase is Florentino, Tulin, Hayate, and Richter removed, leading to a first pick Telenas coming through from Assassin Squad.
Not a bad pick here, especially since Hayate is out. She can deal with Caphany if it's picked on the other side.
Blue team's turn to pick.
You a Lumber fan these days?
I've warmed up a little bit, but
I'm a Lumber fan.
I
Big
don't
on
know.
fire
I don't.
pieces.
I don't trust him unless it's in Beginning's hand.
Just the interrupt on Rampage, that short little dash, is so powerful.
That's where it gets tough though, because it can be extremely good because it's not only a stun onto someone, but it's also a shield and a movement speed boost for allies. And yeah, it's nice when you get everyone lined up, but when your ally's in trouble, what do? Do you stun the opponent? Do you give them this shield and speed boost? You very often can't do both. It's just hard to move, hard thing to use, apart from the fact that he's a melee hero trying to support the backline.
Team E, Superman, Flash.
Team E breaking up the all DC combo.
Superman and Flash
Kind of looks like the Joker.
are both viable, but not
They're both situational.
super popular these days.
You know what? I mean, I don't know. There's so many heroes that are viable that it's hard to tell who's popular and who's not, other than the very, very top heroes. Like you'll see like Tel, you'll see Hayate, you'll see Caphany. But other than that, it's like there's so many situational heroes that not even Dark game, because you'd rather, instead of having like the super strong heroes, you'd rather have heroes that fit your team profile. And so you're just always going to be picking these random heroes and be like, oh, I think we're going to be saying that a lot, especially during AWC. Like, oh, that hero, like, and there's a perfectly reasonable reason to pick that hero. It's just that, you know, we haven't seen that hero in a long time because there's been other good situational heroes for that particular situation.
Mm-hmm. Team E, Telenas, Superman, Lumber, the Flash, Sephira. Draft so far. Lumber, Sephira, Telenas is like meta, but not in the order I would have expected. Does that make sense?
Sephira is fallen off for the same reasons that we've seen Liliana and Raz fall off. She's a good kind of all-around hero who helps your team in an all-around fashion, but situational heroes have become more important than her lately. And instead of needing her for the healing that she provides her team, people just said, well, we'll just get good and not need the healing.
It's a very good choice. A strong choice, dare I say.
Get good.
Omen Quillen will be banned down. I'm not a big fan of Sephira in a lot of roles because I think she's just a jack of all trades who's rather inadequate in any of them.
Well, that's what people thought of her initially. Her biggest strength.
There's a bit where she
if you're gonna
burst people down, but
no, well, it's like her biggest strength is that she cannot be dove, and that is something that's rare among pokey heroes.
Dovin. Sorry,
Divin.
I so rarely get to correct your linguistics. I gotta
Divinated.
pick it up. Dived.
Dived is a word. I just don't know if it's past tense or past participle or whatever.
You know what? There's a thing that happens. Casters do this. They're talking about the in-game economy. And they say, oh, they killed the Darkslayer. That'll give them an economical advantage. No! You just say that'll give them an economic advantage. You don't need to add the economical lol. You can just say economic.
Well, TJ, irregardless of what you think about that. I broke him. Yes. Fantastic.
I'm done!
Did you just echo there? What's happening?
It's over. I'm not doing it anymore.
Is that just my headphones or are you echoing?
I was shouting from across the room.
Ah, right. I see.
That was all I could do to simulate
Red team's turn
a little bit
to
later.
pick.
We're back into the game, though. Lubu playing into Lindis Max as the final 3. Lubu's also odd. This is like a wild draft.
Lubu is very much like Kilgroth.
Uh-huh.
Like, fills a very similar role. Very good dueler in the side lane. Decent team fights just for his ability to sustain through everything. He got actually lots of buffs. He's gotten lots of buffs lately. The very most recent one being it being much easier to use his first ability, which I'm forgetting right now. Basically, you can flick it
Kyle?
and it won't miss. No, his
Red
second ability, the
Stallion.
one that Red Stallion. Yeah, you can use Red Stallion. You can flick it and it won't miss. And by miss, I mean it won't not go off. Because before you'd flick it and it would just like, nope, sorry, try again, and then you'd get stuck and you'd feel bad. It casts faster and it goes off reliably now. Very, very nice.
We've ended this, though, with Max, Flash, Teamy, Superman in play. The Lindis I pass over because it's normal.
Especially for Zane. But he's not playing it. They're switching it up. KO's jungle. Max is I think he's playing Max. They have 30 seconds to switch
No, we're
it. Okay,
good.
they are.
Okay, so what's going on? Superman up top, Max down bottom. Support Lane Teamy. Hear me out. Teamy in the support on beginnings, so Neo will presumably be taking the Superman up top with Max playing the bot lane.
Well, Neo, no, okay. If they were playing Superman top, they'd have KO on it because KO's a very good Superman. Neo is likely going to be bot. By bot, we mean Abyssal. So, KO. Obviously, you want to get the most value out of Max's global abilities. And the nice thing about having Superman is that once Max traverses the map to the other side, then Neo on the Superman is going to be quick enough to pick up the slack. So they can just be interchangeable.
They're both going to be moving very quickly across the map, which is a little bit terrifying. Flash as well. This team has the ranged strike potential of a fully supported US military operation. They can be anywhere at any time. That's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, I think Telenos is going to be dying a lot this game. And if you're going to be focusing someone, Hunter is the right person to focus. Between Max, Superman, Flash, and Teamy keeping them alive throughout it all, Hunter is going to be a dead girl a lot of the time.
A rough time to be playing a static marksman in the midst of this.
Prepare to engage.
Yep.
We'll see if maybe they can pull something out. A lot of it is going to rest on Leon, maybe Spartan playing defense.
This is a defensive kind of showing here from BMG, though. They just want to get into... Oh, never mind. Zane shows up. Okay, they're going back.
So whenever the jungler in the early game is like fighting in mid, that's a team that wants to brawl. So the fact that Zane shows in mid is a little bit crazy because the jungler this early should just be clearing wave.
Interesting development here with BMG is they've thrown KT Fox to the bottom because they want him to get the most gold here. So even though he's their mage and he's typically their mid, they're throwing him bot in this particular case and letting Superman handle mid.
Neo will be in trouble, I would think, but no one's chasing him, so he can just live on that low HP. Down bottom, Hunter and Leon have a duo. KZ Fox playing that lane is just fine.
Yeah, they want him to have extra gold here. Gets caught by Hunter in the bush, though.
Little flank. He's got the speed necessary to disengage. In the meantime, the rest of the team are threatening mid. Kaya dropped down to a sliver of HP. Up top, Spartan in trouble as KO negates his self-healing.
Oh.
Beginnings! Dives on in, and KO has first blood.
I love that when the support on Teamy is so good to be able to flicker Pooty Poots with the stun. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Down bottom, no. KZ Fox does get caught out. Hunter able to pick that one up. Zane at the beginnings won the combo in mid. Pooty Poots for the stun.
Ooh.
Zane's got a second.
Yeah, and they're kind of contesting this Abyssal Dragon here. I don't know if they want to be in this area anymore. Beginnings does not have ult.
Damage from the dragon itself, making this fight a little bit dangerous. There's KO though, he'll arrive. Hunter burned down in the backlines, will fall early. Zane's just brawling up front. He's got KZ Fox as well. And the kill will be found. The Abyssal Dragon is the next target. Now's once Zane, this early on, has the damage to do it, but Now's is just kited back, doesn't have the temporal turbulence, tries to farm it up off of that Sage buff, but can't do it in time. And now he'll need to fight to even get the Sage buff. I'm not sure they can get the Abyssal here, though. BMG don't really have the HP for it. Oh my god, Beginnings, don't do this. He's pulled in. Will go for the kill so deep into the enemy backlines. Just bullies them.
There are 4 members of Assassin Squad here. I don't know if they can get away from this. Beginnings. Oh, what was the chain lance?
Over the wall onto the Abyssal Dragon. He gets to safety. Tides of Life come through. The Abyssal, unfazed by it, will reset.
How? That is one way to leash the Abyssal Dragon. Just chain lance onto it to make sure you get away. This is the longest Abyssal leash I've ever seen, and the most bizarre. They're just gonna mess around for a while. Now Host doesn't have temporal turbulence.
Run around the map shredding people is a little bit terrifying because he's not even level 15 yet. That'll come later. There's the damage for the stun. Beginnings, flicker, Pooty Poots, but there's no follow-up. Zane didn't get the memo in a rare instance of miscommunication, and that'll cost them alive. Beginnings has the resurrect, though. He'll be back. KO flies
where's he
across
going?
the map. In the meantime, Hunter's gone! Picked up from behind the tower where he thought he was safe.
This is so funny from KO because I've been in that situation so much before as a Max. You're like, I know I can kill him whenever I want. Let me just clear this wave first. And that's what it's like, I want to clear the wave, which is why he took so long to do so. But once he did, it's like, Tell, you're mine.
This kill's happening, whether you want it or not.
And that's just the beginning. The first liftoff we've seen. And Hunter is not going to be living very much this game.
Does have a direct kill onto Hunter twice, though, already. Though that is the first liftoff kill. Leon running through the jungle. Will have a rampage to get out of the Dragon Pen. BMG could just go for this Abyssal, but it looks like they're playing it safe and slow. In the meantime, looking for damage, and will chunk Leon low. That Abyssal's been reset. It'll wander back in the meantime. It's Now's to focus. Chunk down to a sliver of HP. KZ Fox keeps diving. Cyclone in. Tides of Life spent. KZ gets the kill, gets out.
Oh my goodness. Big mistake there from Valeka using Tide of Life way too early, which meant that the Cyclone, the suck in, the vacuum at the end actually came through.
Tower picked up mid lane. Bot lane should be the next focus. Hunter is there. BMG playing very aggressive.
Zane, stop. Zane. Oh, lift him off. Lift off. KO, kill him. Kill him. You got him. He's saving it for the Tell.
Yeah, just slowing things down. Spartan will be pretty far back. There's the lift up burn by KO just to see who we can go in on.
Spartan?
Will be the focus of Spartan. Valkea's gone. Spartan's gone as well. Now in the bot lane, KZ Fox is trying to play it safe. He's got 2 people, which means his definition of safe is amidst them. Picking up the wave, drifting back. Hunter.
What?
Flicker?
What?
Alright, he might get the kill, all things even, but when surrounded, when Beginnings is there, it just won't happen.
Maybe he got confused. KZ Fox is dancing! Literally dancing! He has the dance for it, and now he's my title Leon!
Beginnings saves his life.
He's dancing again! Look at this dance for Flash!
Now we're Fortnite.
Tell me you're watching it. Tell me you're watching this dance.
I zoomed in.
Oh my goodness.
It's actually the most
I don't know if you get
thing. Yeah, we'll see today.
It really is. That is the best way to bait someone in, by the way, is to dance in their face. They have to go for you at that point.
Spartan. danced on. Face hurts afterwards. KZ Fox is back from his dab break to focus out Hunter with a Cyclone coming through. He'll use it defensively. Not overstaying his welcome.
This is not the most efficient way that BMG could go about this game, but they're just going for the kills anyway. Normally, if you're up 10 kills and you're BMG against the side, you have more than a 5,000 gold lead, but they're fine. They're fine messing around.
Lift off Hunter. Oh no. The dive from KO. He's all in. He's all out. Hunter's gone. The rest of the team's here. Neo will fall. Now is able to get at least one. Valkyria will be traded out though. KZ Fox is here in the meantime to absolutely shred. They've got a 4-man kill streak. I'll try and turn that into more. 3 of those kills actually going over to KO, which I didn't know.
Yeah, when Max can successfully kill the first person, if Max is in the back of the opposing team, he gets a lot of damage off with his Bionic Blender because it does, first of all, has a very high damage base at the first place, and then he gets Static Shock on everyone. The problem is Max better make it work or else he's going to die, but in that case, he made it work and everyone died.
Cyclone, Hunter in trouble, will be focused down. The poor boy, every time he thinks he's safe. There's someone else with a dive.
Just waiting for KO to get his lift off up again. That next time Hunter has to die again. You see how Hunter had to walk back. He had to walk back to the fountain, by the way, because he's afraid of a random lift off or what have you coming.
Yeah.
He can't even stand like in his base. He has to actually walk back.
Ooh, Neo in trouble. Leon will be caught out. That's going to be a lot of focus through. Valkyria just chunked. Zane's doing the damage. He'll fall. Zane with 2. Lift off in. That's 3. Zane's got the entire team. He'll get the towers as well. Spartan, do you get out of this? Maybe. Narrowly. His towers are all gone. I'm not sure the respawns will be here in time. It's the 9-minute mark and Spartan's got a hold for 10 seconds. He has to make a play and he's just being full focus. Cyclone now all in. He's gone. And it should be the game. They don't have the wave immediately and that means some respawns can come through. That actually might extend things. Zane needs to play back. He'll just kite very carefully around the fight though, drifting back to do the damage. Beginnings goes down but the trades are good. You can see a deep dive in from Neo as he lingers well beyond the extent of his team. Zane just one-shotting people casually should they stray into his range. The team's got wave now up top, so there should be the tower falling.
That core was the MVP, by the way. Why was it attacking minions when they were clearly fighting beyond the tower? And yet it's so, maybe that was on purpose by Spartan. He specifically didn't fight. I don't even know. Why was it attacking the minions, CJ?
They got the core to focus the minion wave rather than hitting the players that were diving, and that's why this game's still going.
Yeah, MVP core. Well, all that aside, since we have a little bit of lull, let's take a look at these builds. Ringbreaker and the Omni Arms on Max is there because as of 3 patches ago, his liftoff, the damage is based on additional AD and not AD overall, which means he wants the extra damage, which means Hunter's gonna die anytime KO just jump on him.
Easy pick up there from Zane. And now the push for the game. The focus in. Neo just deletes him. Zane will be here for the damage. I'm a lock to his POV. Welcome to the Zane cam as KO arrives. He'll just burn into the back lines. This is just wave clear for now. Nobody quite wants to overextend so that Zane can do the damage, which he does. Cyclone as well. KZ Fox through inside the core. Don't do it to him. Resurrect's there. I don't think it was in time. Beginnings gets shut down twice by the Fountain Tower. Zane, just come on, Zane.
He wants the minion to end it. He wants to give the minion the credit.
The core will go down. It's game number 3 and the title of PVL Victory Rush Champion. Over to Blue Martini Gaming.
No surprise there. Obviously, they've shown that they are continuing to practice, continuing to show their abilities on nearly every single hero. I think we saw almost a completely different lineup every single game from them. And it goes to show how well they are playing this. Maybe, you know what? We should go back and look. Were they doing their own global ban pick simulation? where they just had to pick
Okay.
someone different every single time.
That
That
could
actually could be the
actually check
case. Because they picked someone different every single time.
The ban rules for the upcoming AWC will be different than normal. You can't play characters that you played previously in the series. Resets, I believe, at game 5. Should you get there? But
Game 7.
game 7. Wow.
In the GCS, they've been using the global pandemic system, and in their best of 5s, in game 5, it has not reset. So I'm guessing if it's in the early rounds and it's a best of 5, that it will not reset, because I've never seen anything that says it resets in the deciding game. I've only seen stuff that says it resets in game 7 specifically.
You know what we should do, because I see people always asking. The upcoming Arena of Valor World Cup is, of course, what we've been referencing many times over when we talk about the AWC and all that upcoming tournaments. Give me dates, give me a plug for that. Where can people catch information about that?
So the AWC starts at the end of June, and so that means it will start from the 27th to the 30th. Those are the group stage matches, and then the quarterfinals are on the 6th of July, and then the semifinals and finals will be on the 13th of July. Now, crucially, 7 teams have already qualified. Korea's team was just determined the other day, and I'll talk to you about that later, TJ. But I think that at least three teams will be decided this weekend, or tomorrow, actually. So Friday, if you're living in the US. But I'll be watching those games. I'll be enjoying talking about them. Not necessarily commentary, not necessarily shoutcast, but just sitting there and watching the games. So come to my channel tomorrow, and we'll watch
the I asked you to plug
GCS,
the Arena of Valor World Cup, and you just
I'm plugging everything.
Slip in your Twitch.
I'm plugging everything.
All right.
I just slid that in there. No one noticed.
All right. Well, you can find more information. Sorry, I'm trying to close because I'm tired. You can find more information on the AWC. On all
the giveaway.
Yep. I was getting there. there. Have faith. You can find more information on the AWC and all the official Twitch channels, and all the official Twitter channels, rather. Anywhere that AOV news is purveyed, people will give you updates. That's coming up in just a few weeks, though, and it will be the highest tier of AOV gameplay. You got a little preview of that tonight from Blue Martini, who will be representing the West, US and Europe, as well as Latin America at the Valor Series. My name's been TJ, joined by D2. I know you're all waiting on this giveaway, so I'll press the button. The winner of our second giveaway and 1,000 vouchers is Vladimos.
There's no I in there, actually. It's just Vladmus. Vladmus.
This is why I don't invite you to parties.
Why?
Because you're right.
Sorry.
The Premier Valor League has many more tournaments still to come, as well as the Premier Valor League itself. You can find that over at the Premier Valor League's website and social media. All that info is below. Click on all the things. They're nice. Little buttons below the stream. Is Vladimir still in chat? He is. You able to hit him up?
Vladimir.
There, Jerry.
Vladimir, say something.
We'll see. You can find me, of course, here on Twitch at EsportsTj or on Twitter at EsportsTj. I encourage you to follow me both places. D2 is at d2aov.com. That's right, d2aov.com and at d2aov on Twitter. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I hope you had a great time here at the PVL, and I hope you tune in the future. You can, to make sure you don't miss anything, follow the Premier Valor League Twitch channel, but I'd more importantly suggest you follow them on Twitter, because there you can find the information about the upcoming tournaments as well. Maybe join them yourself. It's one of the best community tournaments. Do we have contact with Vladimos, or do we redraw? We can do that.
If Vladimos doesn't say anything in Discord or in the Twitch chat, yeah, we gave him a long time. All right, are we doing it again? Can we do it again?
Drawing?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna push the button. The winner number
Do
2
it again.
is Rotkaro. Because we already drew it, more people may have left the chat. But he is in the chat. Rotkaro is in the chat. I can add him.
Ratkuro, say something. Ratkuro,
Alright.
I mean. Tell
Yeah.
us, Ratkuro.
We have 2 winners, so one of them will be eventually contacted. Whichever one's contacted first wins, I guess. Maybe if they both eventually get in contact, split the vouchers, 500 both ways. They're both still in the chat because I can add them, so they're like here. I don't know.
No, they're not in the the user list.
Really?
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't see Ratkuro. Being able to add them doesn't actually mean that. Just means they've been in chat before.
Do I press the button again, Jury?
I think we just need to press the button again.
Go for it, man.
All right, give me a drum roll, Jury.
Can you do it?
Boom. Will is awesome.
Is he in chat? He is not.
Boom. Rutger.
Ratkuro!
That dude is the luckiest man alive.
Just keep pressing it. I'll look for them in the...
Danny. He's here.
Danny Core is the one saying so sad ×2, so he's definitely here.
It took you 4 times, but Danny's the man. He comes out on top as the first person to respond in the chat. My God. It's beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your evening. That's actually the best giveaway I've ever done. Jerry, if people want to find you anywhere as the glorious admin, I feel like I should give you a chance to plug too. Is there anywhere people can find you specifically?
The easiest way to do it is jury at premiervalorleague.com or just premiervalorleague.com.
All right.
It's all there.
premiervalorleague.com. Except I shouldn't say premier because you spell that slightly differently. For now, have a great rest of your evening. We will see you guys next time on an upcoming AOV broadcast.